Chapter 1337. Flesh Rebirth. The Golden Body Technique activated. Today, Fong Ping started everything anew. His bones were reforged. His flesh was reforged. His brain core returned to one. It could be said that the current Fong Ping was truly complete. Flawless golden body. Of course, there were still some flaws. The black hole on his brain core was still connected to the origin universe. Otherwise, Fong Ping could be regarded as a beginner martial artist, a top-notch powerhouse even among beginner martial artists. His golden body was being forged. In the blink of an eye, Fong Ping returned to his original appearance. At this moment, the golden glow was becoming more and more dazzling. This time, he did not use imperishable substances, but vitality. There might be some problems with the vitality here, but at this stage, Fong Ping would, of course, choose the one with the least problems. The vitality here should be the seed's vitality. The energy of the three realms originated from the seed. If even the seed's energy could not be used, then the martial artists of the three realms were actually puppets. Compared to the system's power, Fong Ping was more willing to use this popular power. The vitality equivalent to 600 small fishes was absorbed by Fong Ping. Now there was not much left. But Fong Ping did not stop. He was still forging his golden body. There were 9 refinements for the golden body, and there was even a jade body. It seemed like no one had forged their flesh to that realm. This time, Fong Ping's harvest was really great. Rumble! The rumble sounded like thunder. That was the harmony between Fong Ping's flesh and bones. At this moment, Fong Ping grabbed Iron Head and laughed. You forge your flesh too. Don't always make yourself look like a skeleton. As soon as he said that, Iron Head's flesh appeared. Fong Ping looked at the remaining vitality and laughed. Then I'll use it all. I'll think of something for old Zhang. Iron Head did not even have the time to speak. In this short period of time, his flesh was honed again and again. Fong Ping pressed him down forcefully, forcing the honing. Iron Head was in so much pain that he wanted to cut someone. This bastard, I see that you have a good time forging. Why is it so painful to forge my flesh? Again and again, he tempered it. Fong Ping did not know how long it lasted. A rumble exploded. Fong Ping's golden body flickered, glowing a faint jade color. In the blink of an eye, it returned to its original appearance with flesh color. At this moment, Iron Head's honing was completed. Iron Head, who had regained his flesh, could not care less about himself. He looked at the increasingly handsome Fong Ping and clicked his tongue. Did you do plastic surgery on purpose? The more one looked at Fong Ping, the more attractive he seemed, and the more handsome he looked. This guy was just average in the past. Fong Ping glanced at him, too lazy to bother with him. At his level, he had a leakless golden body, and his skin was like clear jade. With good skin, no matter how ugly he looked, he wouldn't look too bad. Besides, he wasn't ugly to begin with. Add to that the fact that he was a martial artist, his body was well-proportioned, and his aura was extraordinary. At that moment, Fong Ping felt that he was extremely handsome. Ignoring Iron Head, Fong Ping looked at his own data, thinking about something. Wealth, 250 billion points vitality. Per million, 200,000 calories. Converting spirit, 44,000 hertz, 44,000 hertz force, 50 yuan. 1 yuan equals 20,000 calories, jade bones, 99%, with qualitative change of chi and blood, source world, 970 meters battle technique, God-slaying sword technique, plus 15%, origin Dao, plus 160%, fake Dao, power control, 97%, ultimate outburst, 13,871,000 calories per 14,300,000 calories. Jade bones aren't 100%. Fong Ping was a little surprised. He could not help but think of the problem with the brain nucleus. If that was the case, the three realms actually did not have true jade bones? No, or rather, there were no truly perfect jade bone powerhouses. Even Fong Ping could not reach 100%. If that was the case, the brain nucleus had to be perfectly integrated to be considered 100% jade bone. After forging jade bones, although it was only 99%, it was already undergoing qualitative change of chi and blood. Fong Ping's vitality upper limit was now a question mark. Obviously, it was still in the process of transformation. Fong Ping's gaze changed. His vitality was already as high as 4 million calories before, but after converting part of the force, it should be lower than 4 million calories. Now, in the blink of an eye, it had reached 2 million calories. After the qualitative change, could it reach 8 million calories? If it could, it would be terrifying. If I can reach 8 million calories, and it's the current increment of fake Tao, then wouldn't the limit be around 25 million calories? Origin power was also converted from blood and chi energy. 50 force would be equivalent to the strength of 1 million calories vitality. The normalization method allowed Fong Ping to achieve the coexistence of force and vitality force. In reality, Fong Ping's current basic vitality was already as high as 2 million calories, and it was still strengthening. After forging jade bones, Fong Ping's strength was strong. He could not complete the qualitative change of vitality so quickly. Just like the old cat, after it had forged jade bones, it could not reach its peak so quickly. The source world's diameter is 970 meters. It's almost there. Fong Ping finally showed some joy on his face. Moreover, things like vitality and force were only on the surface. His bones were strong, his flesh strong. If he encountered someone whose explosive power was similar to his, Fong Ping could completely withstand it. If he unleashed his full strength, the other party would definitely not be a match for him. Fong Ping was considered a true all-rounder powerhouse. Today's powerhouses, more or less, were slightly biased. Right now, I'm afraid my outburst has exceeded 14 million calories. Literally speaking, Fong Ping's outburst had not reached 14 million yet, but Fong Ping felt that he could do it. Before continuing to convert force, Fong Ping could actually achieve an outburst of 14 million calories. He was not far from peak breakthrough 7. When the vitality conversion is complete, I'll convert all my strength into force. When that time comes, I'll be even stronger. Fong Ping's thoughts turned, and he sighed. This time in the arcane realm, he had almost completed the few goals that he had set previously, except for the source world. As long as the source world reached 1,000 meters, if he underwent another qualitative change, then all of his plans would be completed. It's a pity that I've used up most of my vitality. Old Zhang and the others are gone. Also, I can't carry out the clone plan anymore. There are 3 more stages left. Only 3 more stages left. Fong Ping could not wait to meet King Jin now. If he snatched the Kunwang seal from King Jin, then all of his previous plans could be completed. Damn it, where is that bastard? Fong Ping cursed in his heart. If the last Heavenly King seal could allow his source world to complete a transformation, Fong Ping felt that he would be terrifyingly strong. Maybe he could break 9? However, Fong Ping quickly shook his head. It should not be possible, because at that time his Tao might collapse. A saint-level Tao might not be able to support such a powerful source unless it was a more powerful Heavenly King Tao. Even a Heavenly King Tao that broke 6 might not be able to do it. Fong Ping realized that as his vitality changed and his physique became stronger, his Tao was actually collapsing bit by bit. His physique was suppressing the source world. This time, Fong Ping finally experienced the situation that the beginner martial artists were talking about. A strong physique and strong mentality would really suppress the source world. Fong Ping's physique had already surpassed some powerhouses that broke 8 or even 9. His physique had completely reached the Heavenly King stage and was still strengthening. While Fong Ping was observing himself, Heaven Exterminating the Arch was also looking at him. After sensing Fong Ping's current situation, Heaven Exterminating the Arch suddenly sighed. Very strong, even stronger than me in the past. At least when I broke 7 levels, my physique and bones were not as strong as yours. Fong Ping rolled his eyes. Nonsense. You are a mentality cultivator, and you want to compete with me? Heaven Exterminating the Arch continued. Even the most outstanding Zhan might not be able to match up to you in the same realm and level. Fong Ping laughed this time. Brother Exterminating the Arch, you are too kind. However, Heaven Exterminating the Arch shook his head again. Even so, It will be difficult for you to break out of this cage and escape from everything. Fong Ping was relaxed now. He sat down and smiled. Brother exterminating the arch? How about we talk about the new product? Heaven exterminating the arch laughed. Actually, there is nothing much to say. Some things are just guesses. As a chess piece, I have never seen the person behind the scenes. Even I'm not sure if I am a chess piece. To say it in simple terms, Heaven exterminating the arch thought for a while and said slowly, some of the energy you used previously, including some mentality produced when your brain core was burned, I am somewhat familiar with it. Familiar? Yes. Heaven exterminating the arch seemed to be thinking about something. After a while, he said self-deprecatingly, I can't even judge my own strength. However, when you burned, I am indeed somewhat familiar with some of the overflowing energy produced. This is the benefit of having a strong spiritual consciousness. I can investigate some things from the source. You sigh. Fong Ping's eyes flickered slightly. He quickly condensed some imperishable substance. The imperishable substance started burning on his hand, but it could not harm his skin. Heaven exterminating the arch closed his eyes and began sensing carefully. After a long time, Heaven exterminating the arch shook his head. It is extremely weak. I can't sense it clearly. This energy has been processed by someone. Moreover, it is not my own energy, so I can't sense it too clearly. I can only see that it is a destructive energy without a source. Are you trying to ask if this is the energy of a fool? When Heaven exterminating the arch said that, Fong Ping had already made this judgment. He nodded and said, that's right. I want to know if the destructive energy belongs to Celestial Emperor Batian. As for the spiritual consciousness energy, is it yours? Vitality energy, is it Celestial Emperor Zhan? Having said that, Fong Ping condensed vitality energy and mentality again and started burning. Not only that, he also condensed origin chi. He said in a low voice, this origin chi might not be anyone's energy. It should be from the source universe. Does this mean that someone is extracting the energy from the source universe? How many people could do this? Heaven exterminating the arch said that when Fong Ping burned his brain core, he actually felt some weak energy that belonged to him. This news was shocking. It was even shocking. Fong Ping asked a few questions consecutively. He looked at the old cat again and said in a low voice, Big cat, in the past, you said that my strength was stolen and that it was ownerless. Now, can you remember something? The cat looked up, confused. He thought hard and said pitifully, maybe I sense their energy? Pointing his paw at Heaven exterminating the arch, the cat said uncertainly, anyway, when I first saw you, I knew that the energy didn't belong to you. It belongs to someone else. It's ownerless because it doesn't have the aura of the origin of life. Heaven exterminating the arch sighed. It's ownerless. Even I can't distinguish this energy now. It is indeed ownerless energy. However, you have to understand that vitality energy, spiritual consciousness energy, and destructive energy are not natural energies. They are cultivated. These energies were not natural and did not exist in the natural world. All power came from cultivation. However, Fong Ping's system provided him with these energies. Obviously, this power had been refined by some people. Who cultivated them? At this moment, the few of them had an answer. Fong Ping looked at Heaven exterminating the arch. Heaven exterminating the arch laughed at himself. When he saw Fong Ping, he said, maybe they are all dead. Yes, dead. Because the energy might be theirs. His mentality, Heaven exterminating Thearka's vitality energy, and Heaven exterminating Thearka's destructive energy. They were all dead. After they died, someone took away their energy, purified it, and provided it to Fong Ping. The few of them had the same thought. Heaven exterminating the arch felt even more bitter. Test subjects. Fong Ping, a new product. This was his guess. They were considered failures, so someone killed them and started forging new products. And Fong Ping was this new product. Fong Ping's expression darkened. It was terrifying. It was indeed terrifying. In the past, he had guessed that the system might be a product of the Emperor. Later, he thought it might be a product of the Celestial Emperor. Now, he did not know. He was lost. He had killed 3 supreme Tao emperors. How did the 3 supreme emperors die? Who killed them? The murderer might be the real owner of the system. What a terrifying thing. What a shocking thing. One could imagine how powerful this person was to be able to kill 3 supreme emperors. What was he trying to do? Heaven exterminating the arch saw him frown and suddenly chuckled. Maybe it's a good thing. Everything is just a guess, but since it's just a guess, this person is so powerful that even our real bodies are no match for him. We are all failures. That means that this person will not harvest now. Maybe, when you become an emperor, it will be time for him to harvest. Because the 3 supreme emperors are all failures. What could be more powerful and satisfying than 3 supreme emperors? Emperor. Gathering the strongest of the 3 and becoming an emperor might be his goal. This should be a good thing, shouldn't it? Fong Ping licked his lips and asked, "Do you have any suspects?" Divine Emperor Do, Donghuang, Celestial Emperor, Sun God, Heaven exterminating the arch named 5 people. The same names given by the Emperor that day. He said softly, "These 5 people are the most ancient, the most mysterious. Donghuang counts too?" Fong Ping asked, "Was Donghuang also one of these possible people?" "Yes." Heaven exterminating the arch said softly, "The reason why I'm guessing these people is not a wild guess. Donghuang taught Zhan and has a close relationship with Silly Guy. The 2 of them knew each other before they became Taoists. Silly Guy walked the physique extreme Tao and was actually influenced by him. The martial artists who influenced us to walk the extreme Tao are all suspicious." Heaven exterminating the arch looked at Iron Head, smiled, and said, "In the past of all the Taoists in the world, people like us chose one and moved forward. We have our own ideas and some other powerhouses influenced us. The 5 people I mentioned have a certain influence on us. The person who influenced them to walk the extreme Tao might be the mastermind behind it. 5 people. Sun God is not as famous as the other 4." Just as Fong Ping said this, Heaven exterminating the arch shook his head and said, "It's not about fame. Among the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors, at least 5 of them have been taught by Sun God. What he is good at? I don't know." "What do you mean?" "Beginners are usually good at one Tao. What is Sun God good at?" Heaven exterminating the arch laughed and said, "No one knows, because he is good at every Tao. The disciple he taught, Zhen, is good at many Taos, but his spiritual consciousness Tao is slightly weaker. However, Zhen's younger brother, King Zheng, is not weak in the spiritual consciousness Tao. This should be influenced by him. If that's the case, Sun God might not have shown his true strength." Fong Ping asked no more. Actually, there was nothing more to ask. Now a lot of things were clear. He had indeed been used as a pawn by someone. He could be said to be a new product of the mastermind after the 3 emperors failed. He was deducing from the extreme Tao again, trying to create an omnipotent emperor of the extreme Tao. Fong Ping suddenly sneered and said, "Now I understand. All right, I know all these. Is there anything else you want to tell me?" Heaven exterminating the arch laughed and said, "Actually, there's nothing more to say. You know what you need to know. If you don't know, then we don't know either. Maybe the real body knows, but the real body is most likely dead. But," he looked at Iron Head and laughed, "even if the few of us die, we won't admit defeat like this. Maybe there are still some imprints between heaven and earth. You guys don't have to worry about anything. Maybe we still have the power for one last attack. You guys are the weapon legacies that unleash the power of this attack. Because I realize that all of you have descended with the strongest weapons we had when we were alive. Maybe this is a sign. We might have left something in the 3 realms. At the last moment, I look forward to fighting with all of you." He said it calmly. It was a little sad, but not sad. He chatted with Iron Head for a while. He felt that even if the few of them died, they might still have left something behind. Weapon legacies, according to his habits. If he really died in battle, unless there was no hope, he would not admit defeat even if his weapon was broken. He did not break his God-exterminating spear. This meant that he might have left his hope to the future. Hold the spear, kill not only him, Jean and Ba did not break their divine weapons. This was not their style. Such a strange legacy. Perhaps the real body had other motives and ideas. The biggest possibility was that he had left behind his strongest attack and did not use it. Ironhead licked his lips and asked, "You mean you guys still have power left in the three realms that can unleash power beyond the limit?" "Maybe, I'm not sure." The heaven exterminating the arch laughed. "You guys need to find it and open it yourselves. If you're not strong enough, you might not have triggered all of this. Because we have all been defeated, without strength, the legacies are useless." "Understood." Ironhead exhaled. He also felt that the three of them might have really died. The complete legacy of the weapon was definitely not right. "There's nothing else for me to do. You guys can pass." The heaven exterminating the arch had nothing more to say. But when he was about to teleport them, he suddenly said, "Although the Emperor God is suspicious, he might not be the one. If it was him, the Tao tree would not have come here. Of course, everything is hard to confirm. You guys go and see for yourselves. Other than the five of them, it's not impossible for others." Even the heaven exterminating the arch suddenly grinned, revealing his snow-white teeth. "Even if we did it ourselves, the three emperors worked together to fake their deaths and set up this game of chess. It's not impossible." Fong Ping's heart skipped a beat. There was no time to ask. Space-time rotated, and in the blink of an eye, they disappeared from this level. The 10th level was broken. Fong Ping and the others disappeared. The heaven exterminating the arch was like a fossil, sitting on the stone platform, motionless. After a long time, he suddenly opened his eyes and looked forward. A middle-aged man came through the air. The middle-aged man strolled leisurely, hands behind his back, chuckling. "Long time no see. Exterminating. It's you. It's me." The heaven exterminating Thearka's gaze changed. "What are you doing here?" "To break through and reminisce." "Nothing to reminisce about." "Exterminating, do you also think that I was the one who attacked you? Among the three emperors, you are the most rational and shrewd. If it was really me, I wouldn't have come here today to reminisce with you guys." The heaven exterminating the arch was indifferent, putting on an act to divert attention. "What a petty trick." The middle-aged man sighed. "Sovereign extreme, transcendence, friends, disciples, fellow Taoists of the past. Now, they have all gone their separate ways. What a pity, what a pity." The heaven exterminating the arch said nothing. After a while, he said coldly, "If you break through, this source world will be enough to pass." The middle-aged man sat opposite him and smiled. "There's no hurry. While no one is here, have a cup of tea." "Oh, right. Did Fong Ping and the rest just pass?" "No comment. Even if you don't say, I can still sense the aura." The middle-aged man took out a teapot and a teacup. As he poured tea, he smiled. "Say, is the formation of this place man-made or not? Fong Ping and the rest will receive some gifts here. Is it a seed to save itself? You also know that some of us have been eyeing the seeds. The source of power of the three realms may not have any intelligence, but it should still have instincts. Do you think that it is trying to save itself? That's why this place was formed, so that the people who can save it can obtain some opportunities? Don't you know?" The heaven exterminating the arch said indifferently. "Do you still need to ask me?" "I don't know, that's why I'm here." The middle-aged man sipped his tea and pondered. "I feel that something is wrong with G. He might be involved. I didn't go to Spirit. There's something wrong with the teleportation passageway. There are many people involved in this place. Those who have entered now might not know anything. You're trying to cover it up?" The heaven exterminating the arch said coldly, "There's no need for that. I've fallen long ago. All that's left is some memories. When this place is destroyed, we will naturally return to dust. Why do you need to lie to us?" "You," the middle-aged man sighed. "You're not as pure as you used to be. I thought that idiot could still talk to you. Who knew that he'd severed his memories? Now all that's left is martial arts and combat techniques. His memories are gone. There are fewer and fewer old friends that I can talk to." The look in heaven exterminating Thearka's eyes changed. There was an inexplicable sadness in them. Then he laughed heartily. "That's good too. No memories, no worries. Sometimes, this idiot is more carefree than me and Jean. Yes, it's a pity for this old friend. The middle-aged man raised his cup and drank a cup of tea. He stood up. I'm leaving. Perhaps we'll meet again. Perhaps we'll never meet again. The heaven exterminating the arch was silent. He also drank a cup of tea. The passageway opened. The middle-aged man stepped into it. Before he left, he suddenly said in a low voice, "Perhaps I can help you be reborn. Gather your origin and find an origin reincarnation. Live again and fight alongside me." The heaven exterminating the arch looked at his back and was speechless for a long time. When he was about to disappear, he said softly, "I, exterminating, will only fight for one lifetime. This lifetime will only be exterminated." Sigh. The sigh echoed. He had already disappeared. The heaven exterminating the arch. None of the three great emperors chose to fight again. Sad, lamentable, respectable. The middle-aged man felt a sense of loss. The death of the three emperors was the regret of the three realms. P.S. Only 2 chapters left. This is the longest I've ever written. I've written more than 300,000 words. It's too tiring to write a single chapter. I need to make some adjustments before continuing. Please forgive me, brothers. Chapter 1338. Clang. A crisp sound rang in Fong Ping's ears. It's time for morning classes. He could vaguely hear voices. Fong Ping looked over. At this moment, they were in a majestic palace. This was a room. The door of the room was wide open. Shadows beside him ran toward a square in the middle of the palace. Fong Ping was not the only one. There were many rooms. There were rooms in all directions. At this moment, the doors of each room were wide open. Shadows and real people walked out. Yes, real people, like Fong Ping, people who were trying to break through the levels. Fong Ping looked around. He was the only one in this room. Cat and Ironhead were not there. However, Fong Ping soon saw Cat in a room opposite him. Ironhead was not there. Fong Ping frowned slightly. He quickly understood. Maybe Ironhead had not broken through enough levels and was separated from him during the teleportation process. This was one of the last 3 levels. Not everyone could come here. Fong Ping and Cat were here. A few others were here too. Fong Ping saw Jiang Hao and the Thunder King. Both of them were in this level now. Not only these 2, Fong Ping glanced over and saw a few others. Moon Spirit. Fong Ping did not say anything since Moon Spirit was here. However, in the next moment, Fong Ping's expression darkened. Fong, Hongyu, Hongkuan, and Li Zhu were all here. They were all in this level. This was not right. These people had not broken through so many levels. Logically, they could not all be here at this time. Although the levels were random, according to Fong Ping's previous experience, there would not be many people in the last 3 levels. Unless someone was guiding them secretly. In this place, who could guide these people here secretly? The Dao Tree. Fong Ping snorted coldly in his heart. He might have been tricked. Maybe the Dao Tree had sensed his speed and schemed against him. At this moment, opposite Fong Ping, Jiang Hao growled, "Fong Ping, don't leave the room. As long as you don't leave the room, you will be isolated from this level. No one can enter your room." Fong Ping paused. His eyes shone brightly as he looked at the open room. There seemed to be a thin energy shield at the door of the room. Not to kill me, but to restrict me from breaking through the levels? Fong Ping suddenly had this thought in his mind. For this stage, he guessed that it was likely that the Dao Tree was secretly guiding him. If he had a conflict with someone, the Dao Tree might have sensed it or seen it. He had brought all these enemies to this stage. However, the goal was not to kill him. Of course, it could also be related to the characteristics of the checkpoint. Still, it was necessary to trap Fong Ping or slow down his progress. Would Fong Ping dare to go out now? Several cultivators who had broken through to the 8th level were all there. They were all his enemies. Fong Ping looked at Li Zhu, who was in the room beside him. He had a vague feeling that Li Zhu might have broken through 8. Li Zhu, Hong Kuan, Hongyu, and Fong. Fong Ping would not be too worried if he encountered any one of them. However, if he encountered all 4 powerhouses, even if Fong Ping had forged his jade bones, he would definitely be beaten to death if he went out. On the other side, Hong Kuen's expression was unfriendly. He looked at Fong Ping, cursing in his heart. He had just broken through a stage. They had broken through the North Imperial Pass. He was considered unlucky. At North King's stage, he was tormented badly by North King. Fortunately, he was very strong. In the end, he chose an extremely dangerous move and smashed the North King into the void. After the Hand of Rules descended and killed the North King, the North King who had just appeared was still in a daze. He followed the old rules. In this way, King Kuen had successfully broken through. Now that he had just broken through and saw Fong Ping, how could King Kuen be happy? However, looking around, God Creation Envoy, Chaos, Heavenly Dog, none of them were there. King Kuen suddenly laughed and said loudly, "Fong Ping, come out and break through the stage together. Aren't you extremely fast? Let's try together." Fong Ping did not step out of the room. He looked at King Kuen and smiled. "What's the hurry? Without me, can you guys break through? I'm not in a hurry. I'll let you guys go for a round." Hong Yu and the others did not say anything. Li Zhu stepped out of the room directly and then returned to the room. There were no restrictions. After thinking for a while, Li Zhu walked to Zhang Hao's room and punched. The void trembled slightly. As if there was a barrier at the door of the room, it rippled slightly but did not shatter. Li Zhu tested it, then looked at Fong Ping and chuckled. "Fong Ping, looks like you don't have to come out anymore." Fong Ping was not in a hurry. He took out the sofa and sat down, then smiled. "Li Zhu, you broke through 8? That's fast." Li Zhu did not reply. On the other side, Hong Yu walked out too. He frowned slightly and said slowly, "You killed King Yi?" "Nonsense, I didn't kill him." "Don't wrongly accuse a good person," Fong Ping said lazily. "I sent you guys away earlier. Why would I kill him? You guys killed him yourselves, right?" Hong Yu frowned and did not say anything. If Heavenly King Yi was dead, then so be it. It was nothing. He glanced at Fong Ping, then at the others, his brows furrowing again. After thinking for a while, he said in a low voice, "This stage. What a coincidence. What a coincidence." Obviously, he felt that something was wrong. What a coincidence. Other than Fong Ping and Zhang Hao, who had broken through many stages, although the others had broken through many stages, it was too much of a coincidence to say that they had reached the same stage as Fong Ping and the others. Someone was leading them to this stage together. If nothing went wrong, it should be to restrict Fong Ping. On the other side, Fong also walked out of the room, chuckling. "Interesting. Fong Ping, I broke through earlier than you, yet you and I can actually meet each other in 2 stages consecutively. No, this is the 3rd stage. What a coincidence." As she said that, Fong shook her head and laughed. It's not a good thing to attract too much attention. They were not stupid. Fong Ping suddenly entering a wolf's den was probably not a coincidence. The Dao Tree. Fong Ping chuckled. "What's wrong with that? Don't you guys want to break through anymore? Let me tell you, either you guys leave together or don't leave, or else you'll suffer." As he said that, he laughed again. "I'm not in a hurry anyway. I've broken through 10 stages. This is the 11th stage. I've taken all the benefits that I deserve. I'll just wait. As for us appearing together, you guys should think about how to deal with the one behind us." It was hard to tell whether this was the Dao Tree or someone else. The possibility of it being the Dao Tree was higher. This fellow was hiding behind the scenes. It was a pity that Fong Ping had seen through it. Now that the powerhouses knew of its existence and made such a scene, how could the powerhouses who had broken through 8 not be on guard? Fong Ping was not in a hurry now. His vitality had not completed the conversion. Actually, he needed some time to complete the conversion. This was like a safe house. It was nothing for him to wait here for a while. He did not believe that these people could trap him here forever. On the other side, the cat poked its head out to take a look. It asked curiously, "Liar, we're out. Is this defensive shield still there?" "I don't know." Fong Ping really did not know. He laughed. "Li Zhu, help me try. Are the other people's defensive shields still there? If they are, we can go back by ourselves. How about I play hide and seek with you guys?" Li Zhu ignored him. Fong laughed. With a wave of his hand, He hit the door of the room that Li Zhu came out from. With a rumble, the void trembled slightly. There were ripples on the surface of the water. Feng smiled faintly. It's still there. He was not in the mood to help Fang Ping. Instead, he wanted to test if this thing was still there. If it was, to him, it was also a form of protection. Moreover, the sudden appearance of such a setting in this level made him slightly worried. Why was there an additional defensive shield in the room? And it was very resilient. Normally, this kind of level would not do such useless things. As for protecting the challengers, was it necessary? Since it appeared, it meant that these rooms might be used for something. Jianghao, Thunder King, Moon Spirit, the cat. These people had not left the room at this moment. The cat thought for a while. It poked its head out and retracted its head. After repeating this a few times, the cat said happily, "Liar, we can play hide and seek." He could run out when they were not paying attention, and then run back. It should be fun. Fang Ping was speechless. This stupid cat. Did it think that these fellows were that stupid? They could just set up a trap to lure you out. Playing hide and seek was more like catching a turtle in a jar. Anyway, he would not go out now. If he went out, these fellows might kill him if he was not careful. Although he encountered Feng previously, this fellow did not do anything and was very easy to talk to. That was because he knew that he was no match for Fang Ping and the others. Hong Kuan ran last time because he knew that he could not do anything to Fang Ping, so he ran very fast. Now a group of people was here. They could not kill Fang Ping. If they could kill Fang Ping, none of them would give up. Fang Ping was not in a hurry. It was good to let them try to clear the level. He felt that the last 3 levels would not be easy. Moreover, it was not right to make this safe house. Why would they make a safe house out of nowhere? Out of so many levels. Only Heavenly Emperor Zhan's side had isolation. However, Heavenly Emperor Zhan's side seemed to have originally wanted everyone to learn separately. It was fine if the classrooms were not in the same room, but why did they make this thing for this level? Fang Ping thought about this and said, "Everyone, whose level is this? Does anyone recognize this?" Hong Yu and the others ignored him. Jiang Hao, however, knew and said, "It's the level that Dong Wang is guarding." Dong Wang? Fang Ping nodded slightly puzzled. He tried to stretch out a hand. Why did Dong Wang make this safe house? When his hand was stretched out, the others ignored him. If this guy was capable, he could come out with his whole body. Otherwise, breaking his hand would not be of much use anyway. Fang Ping sensed for a while and did not find anything unusual. At this moment, on the square in the middle of the palace, shadows took their seats. These people should be the disciples who listened to Dong Wang's teachings in the past. However, this place only showed shadows, not too real. At this time, a shadow descended from the sky. Below, everyone bowed in admiration. "Welcome, Master." Dong Wang had arrived. Fang Ping turned his head to look. It was a little far away. There seemed to be a protective shield around the square, so he could not see clearly. He was quite curious about Dong Wang. This guy appeared in many ancient books, but most of them had the image of a good guy. He heard that he had a good relationship with Celestial Emperor Batian. Celestial Emperor Batian had asked him for help to beat up Celestial Emperor Annihilate. It was also at that time that he met Wang Ruobing and chased away Heavenly Dog. Back then, Heavenly Emperor Zhan pointed arrows at the emperors in the Celestial Court. This was also one of the parties who stopped the fight. He seemed to have a good relationship with the 4 emperors, the kind that was neutral. Moreover, he was one of Zhan's teachers. Was he going to preach? How were they going to pass this round? Why did they get so many disciples here? Fang Ping was still thinking. Feng and the others were walking toward the square. Moon Spirit also did not say a word. She left the safe house and followed behind everyone, walking toward the square. Fang Ping and the others, on the other hand, were like prisoners, not daring to leave. Fang Ping cursed in his heart. "I'm also quite curious. These bastards better get lost as soon as possible. Otherwise, he was afraid that he would not be able to control himself and run out, only to be beaten to death." Hong Kuan and the others had just arrived around the square. In the sky, Dong Wang said, "Today, you're still talking about force." Fang Ping hurriedly listened. He He could hear the voice. Since he could hear it, he was not in a hurry. Perhaps he could pass the round without going out, so there was no need to go out and find trouble for himself. Force, vitality force, and spiritual consciousness force, a higher level of strength. Those who are not heavenly kings, or even those who have not broken through to the 8th strongest state, can't control it. However, the path of cultivation lies in breakthrough, in creation. As Fong Ping listened, Fong and the others had already walked to the square. Dong Wang acted as if he did not see them, continuing to talk to himself. After talking for a while, Fong Ping somewhat understood. Dong Wang felt that if the force was stronger, then he could let his disciples master it. They did not necessarily have to break through to the 8th level to try it. If his disciples could master force when they were weak, then their combat strength would be even stronger. This was also considered a breakthrough. Could I pass the round just by mastering force? That's not difficult, Fong Ping thought. If that was the case, this round might be difficult for others, but it was not difficult for him and the cat. One man and one cat, both had mastered force. As he was thinking, Dong Wang suddenly said, "According to the method I taught you yesterday, try to convert force." As soon as he said that, in the square, the shadows suddenly divided into 3 rows. Hong Kuan and the others looked left and right, not knowing what to do for a moment. At this moment, even Fong Ping felt something different. Among the disciples who were divided into 3 rows, someone suddenly unleashed their own strength. Mind power, vitality power, and life power. The 3 rows of disciples unleashed different strengths. They were 3 types of strength. There were many people, and their strength back then should not have been weak. At this moment, with everyone's combined strength, the 3 strong forces suddenly intertwined in midair. Standing in the middle of the crowd, Feng's expression changed slightly. Hong, you seem to have thought of something. In the next moment, without a word, he turned around and ran. Before he left, he passed by Moon Spirit and growled, "Go back to the house." Moon Spirit did not hesitate. She turned around and ran. At this moment, Hong Kuan, who was at the front, also had a drastic change in expression. He turned around and ran back to his house. As he ran, he scolded, "Lunatic!" Fong Ping was still in a daze. In the square, under the intertwining of the 3 forces, suddenly, a strong force exploded. This origin power, however, was extremely unstable. Fong Ping did not have time to say anything. Boom! This loud sound reverberated throughout heaven and earth. Fong Ping's house was shaking. At the door, the defense shield was also shaking violently. Rumble! Countless forces were destroyed. Forces exploded everywhere. The 3 forces were out of balance. The produced force actually exploded. Fong Ping knew how strong the force was. Moreover, there were many disciples under Dong Wang. The 3 forces created by these people were actually formed by the rule. They were all very strong. This explosion was actually equivalent to the explosion of countless rule powers. This time, even Fong Ping was affected in the house, let alone those who were closest to them. They all ran back to their rooms frantically. Although they were broken 8, the force just now was condensed and transformed by all the disciples under Dong Wang. Although the projection was not as strong as before, it was still extremely destructive. At the back was Li Zhu. This guy did not know the inside story, so he ran slightly slower. This explosion blasted Li Zhu's flesh and blood everywhere. With a muffled groan, he turned into a skeleton in the blink of an eye and quickly went back to his safe house. On the other side, Hong Yu and the rest were also affected. They all groaned. Feng's physique was indeed slightly weaker. He turned into a skeleton in the blink of an eye. He wanted to cry, but had no tears. He rushed back to his room hurriedly. Rumble! The explosion continued. In the sky, Dong Wang sighed. The control of force is still not balanced enough. The output of vitality force is slightly higher. Although the force has been converted, there is an imbalance. As he spoke, Hong Kuan, who was also slightly injured, went back to his safe house and could not help but curse, "Lunatic." Back then, there were countless disciples of Dong Wang. They were all King killed by you. Why are you doing this to break through? Feng also recovered quickly. he said in exasperation. Dongwang has more disciples than anyone else. Even the earthly emperors are not as good as him. So many of them have died, and you're still experimenting. How many years had it been? They had almost forgotten about this. Did Dongwang have few disciples? How was that possible? Dongwang was the second top-notch powerhouse to become an emperor after the divine emperor. Before the other emperors became emperors, he was already an emperor. Of course, he had many disciples. But now, many of the other emperors had come out. What about Dongwang? It seemed like there was only one saint. There were only 2 or 3 of them. They were not even as good as the spirit emperors. Everyone had almost forgotten about the ancient times. Now, Hong Kuan and the others suddenly remembered. Wasn't it because of this bastard's experiments that many people died? Of course, in that era, countless people died in order to explore the martial way. During the early stage of the martial way, countless people self-destructed in order to explore the martial way. These were actually not a big deal back then. But now, they wanted to cry, but had no tears. Damn it, what the hell? He exploded as soon as he arrived. This destructive power was even close to breaking through the 9 levels. Alas! With a sigh, Dongwang said softly, "It still doesn't work." It still failed. As soon as he said this, the countless shadows that had been blown to pieces in the square suddenly condensed and returned to the safe house. Seeing this, Li Zhu was also dumbfounded. He could not help but say, "Is it going to be like this forever?" They were really unlucky. They had just entered and almost died in the explosion without knowing anything. Of course, they would not die so easily, but they were definitely unlucky. Even now, the powerful destructive power was still shaking the void. It was just a test, and it was over. And Dongwang's projection disappeared in the blink of an eye. Gone. At this moment, everyone finally knew why this safe house was built. Without it, even if they were extremely powerful and could withstand the instantaneous explosive force, they would still be injured, and the injuries would not be light. The key was it going to be like this forever or just once? Everyone had a bad feeling in their hearts. The safe house was obviously not useless. It was very likely that this was a cyclical process. They had considered that it would be like this forever, even if they broke through to 8 levels. That was why they built the safe house. Everyone was quiet. Fong Ping suddenly grinned. TSK, everyone, does it feel good? I think it might be done once a day until you break through. You guys go out and experiment. Anyway, I'm not going out. Humph! Hong Kuan snorted coldly. When the energy fluctuations outside dissipated, he frowned and continued walking out of the safe house. As soon as he walked out, the morning class has begun. The shadows gathered in the square once again. Hong Kuan's expression changed. Just like the previous cycle, the shadows gathered in the square one after another. After a while, Dongwang arrived again. "Welcome, Master. Still talking about the force today." Standing outside the house, Hong Kuan's face turned green. On the other side, Li Zhu said hurriedly, "We can't go out. If we go out, we'll start repeating this scene." Hong Kuan was too lazy to respond. "Nonsense, I can feel it." At this moment, 3 waves of energy gathered again. Then a deafening rumble was heard again. Everyone was dumbfounded. Hong Kuan had already run into his safe house. Right now, his face was as black as a sheet. What was this? Wouldn't stop until he blew us up? Once he went out, the scene would repeat. Under the cycle, he would blow you up. If he went out, of course, he would not be blown up in one go. If he could not do it once, he would do it twice, thrice. After dozens of times, he would die even if he had broken through to 8 levels. From the looks of it, this was the trend. At this moment, Fong Ping could not stop laughing. He guffawed. "Go out. Didn't you not let me go out? Go out. All of you." After mocking him for a while, Fong Ping asked curiously, "What is Dongwang trying to do? He keeps repeating this scene. His obsession is quite deep. Do you know what he's trying to do?" Fong was currently healing his flesh. When he heard that, he felt a little helpless. He said in a low voice, "Dongwang used to have countless disciples. Later on, there were a lot fewer. some top-notch disciples seem to have disappeared. I heard that there was an accident when he was experimenting with a new combat technique. Many people died. Dong Wang might not be satisfied. This scene might be a reenactment of the scene where his top-notch disciples died one after another. This scene must have happened in the past. Dong Wang let his disciples experiment with converting their force. In the end, there was an accident and many people died. Was that why it became an obsession? Since they had broken through the levels until now, everyone had more or less understood it. These levels might be the manifestation of the obsession hidden in the hearts of some emperors. Could it be that Dong Wang could not let go of it all this time? Hence this level appeared? Fong Ping rubbed his chin. Could it be that Dong Wang wants us to save people? That was not easy. Fong Ping egged him on. I know how to break through this level. Maybe he wants you to save all his disciples before the explosion comes. That way, you can break through the level. Actually, it's not that difficult. Hold on for a while and bring those apparitions back to the house. You might be able to pass this level. This was not an unfounded guess. However, their faces were dark. Nonsense. They ran fast just now. How would they have time to save people? If they wanted to save people, they would have to stay where they were for a while. Dong Wang's projection had been destroyed once in the area with the strongest explosion power. It had condensed rapidly. This was taking their lives. If it exploded a few more times, wouldn't it kill them? However, it had to be said that the possibility of this happening was still there. Moreover, it was not small. Fong Ping continued egging them on. The few of you can join forces. 4 of you can break through level 8. Plus Moon Spirit. Forget it. Don't go for Moon Spirit. It's not worth it to blow her up. Let them try. Maybe they can succeed. Fong Ping grinned. The 4 of you are all breaking through level 8. Why are you afraid of this? Why don't you go and try? If the 4 of us join forces, I don't think they can blow you up. I've estimated the power. With this level of explosion, you won't die unless it happens 20 times in a row. The few of them looked unfriendly. Hong Kuan let out a cold humph and frowned. Don't be sarcastic. You have to break through too. Fong Ping, your physique is not weak. If you want to try, come out too. Fong Ping pursed his lips. Was he stupid? All of them were here. If he went out plus the power of the explosion, 1, 2, 3 of them might be killed by you. Fong Ping could not be bothered with them. He rubbed his chin and said, Dong Wang is also a research maniac. No wonder Chief Dong Wang didn't appear. Did he blow him up? The power just now might have been stronger during the explosion. Dong Wang might have protected some of them, but he probably could not have protected everyone. In real life, maybe even those who had broken through level 8 would be blown up. No wonder there were so few people in East Emperor's sect. This person also liked to set off fireworks. Fong Ping lamented, Dong Wang and I have a common hobby. Say, is he teaching me how to use the combat technique of combination to convert force to blow up powerhouses like you? We humans have a group of death warriors. Let's not talk about it. Maybe it'll be useful if we study it. Fong Ping continued rubbing his chin. Speaking of which, it might not be useless. As soon as he said that, everyone's expression darkened. Hong Yu said in a low voice, there are people in Heavenly Court. This is too harmful. Fong Ping, don't you dare act recklessly. If Fong Ping really mastered this method, a group of people could combine their combat techniques and convert force. The force had already gone through a qualitative change, plus the power of the explosion. 10 true gods, converted to force, might be stronger than a saint. Plus the power of the explosion, 10 true gods might be able to unleash a heavenly king's strike. Of course, the result was obvious. The true gods who used this method could not even think about living. However, there were many humans who were not afraid of death. 10 true gods unleashing the power of a heavenly king's strike. What about 10 venerable emperors? What about 10 saints? Hong Yu felt that it was necessary to dispel Fong Ping's idea. Otherwise, who knew what this lunatic would do? If one day he, Martial King, and the rest joined forces and used this move, even those who had broken through level 8 would be blown up. Fong Ping laughed. That's true. It's too hurtful. Forget it, let's not talk about this. Everyone, try again. I think it should be like what I said. Saving people can clear the stage. If you move faster, there might be a chance. No one paid attention to him. However, Hong Yu and the rest looked at each other, frowning slightly. The method to clear this stage might be like what Fong Ping said. That would be troublesome. Saving people? How were they supposed to save them? Even if they saved them, there were about 100 people in the plaza. Would they send them back to their rooms one by one? If that was the case, they felt that they would be blown to pieces. For a moment, everyone felt like their heads were about to explode. Chapter 1339. Rescuing people was difficult. Moreover, it was only Fong Ping's theory. No one would take the bait easily. Of course, this was a possibility. At this time, Hong Yu said slowly, the force explosion is because the three parties provide unbalanced energy. If we can balance the energy of the three parties, will it maintain the balance of the force and prevent the explosion? After he said that, Hong Kuan said coldly, that's not one person. That's hundreds of people. There's a slight imbalance in the energy of hundreds of people. How are you going to control it? Hong Yu laughed. Dong Wang said earlier that vitality is slightly stronger. We can weaken some of the vitality force or increase some vitality or mentality to maintain the balance of the force. Li Zhu interrupted. That's what you said, but these hundreds of energies are not one person's. The difference in energy is also very small. You have to measure the slight difference among these hundreds of energies and control it precisely. You can even perform a slight change in energy before balancing it. That's asking too much of us, Li Zhu said helplessly. And if we're not careful, there will be an explosion. It's fine if it happens once or twice. But if it happens too many times, we will only become weaker and weaker. In the end, we will lose control of our energy and fail completely. Hong Kuan said coldly, during this period, if an asshole appears and you control it, and he adds a little bit of energy, as he said that, he looked at Fong Ping. Fong Ping looked innocent and said innocently, Hong Kuan, are you talking about yourself? Then you're too much of an asshole. Hong Kuan sneered and said disdainfully, I'm talking about you. In my opinion, this round might not only be a test of that. It might also be a test of the team's cooperation, because we're not going to pass it alone. If that's the case, there are more things to consider. What is Dong Wang trying to do? Teach combat techniques? Fong Ping laughed. Is Dong Wang trying to tell us that we can only unleash powerful combat techniques when we work as a team? All right. Fong Ping continued laughing. Maybe it's not just that. I think Dong Wang might not only be thinking about saving people and balancing things. He might even want to save people after balancing things out. I don't believe he wants his disciples to be disposable consumables. Maybe he wants them to be a final combat force. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and said in a low voice, if that's the case, then the test might be on how to save people after the balance is achieved. While achieving the enhancement of combat strength, his disciple will become a kind of trump card for him instead of a consumable. This was much more reliable than what he had said before. Even Fong pondered and said, the possibility is very high. Someone must have passed before. According to the previous checkpoints, there should be some benefits to clearing them. When we fulfill Dong Wang's wish, what will we gain? How can the weak pass the test? Li Zhu thought for a while, then said with a smile, what did we get? We got the way to combine our origin power, the structure of our origin power, and how to make it more stable. We've gained a bit from being able to maintain a balance between hundreds of different energies. It's easier to do this alone. In this way, we will have a clearer idea of where to go in the future, won't we? Of course, there were benefits. Putting everything else aside, if they succeeded and let 10 sages come, they might be able to unleash a battle prowess that surpassed 7. If the 10 sages could survive, that would be terrifying. And this was only 10? What about 20? Would he be able to unleash the power of breaking through 8? What about the 30th? Not only that, Dong Wang's disciples had different abilities too. Different abilities could also be mixed, depending on how much power each person provided. If they could also master this method, if the true god martial artists in the catacombs joined forces, they would be doomed if they encountered a heavenly king now. However, if tens or hundreds of true gods joined forces, they might be able to kill a heavenly king. If tens of thousands of rank 9 joined forces, they might also be able to kill a heavenly king. In this way, some of the middle and low-end combat strength would become a kind of trump card for all parties, and they would no longer be insignificant figures. They were thinking about this. On the other side, Moon Spirit said coldly, I'm thinking, did Dong Wang actually cultivate such a group of people back then? Did he hide a group of people and use them as a trump card? When they joined forces at the critical moment, they once killed an emperor. As soon as she said this, everyone's expression changed slightly. Moon Spirit said indifferently, until now, only one of Dong Wang's disciples has revived. I suspect that Dong Wang's disciples may have participated in the war back then. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been completely wiped out. Dong Wang was the second-ranked emperor. He was extremely ancient. However, who under him was famous? Heavenly Emperor Zhan did not count. And the Divine Emperor? The Tao Tree, Heavenly King Yi, Dragon Transformation, and even the Qing Tong Sage of Weiyu Mountain, the Medicine God Emperor of Medicine God Island, and another Sage of Medicine God Island. This might not be all of the Divine Emperor. Under Spirit Emperor, there was a Heavenly King powerhouse like Lin Zi. No matter how one looked at it, Dong Wang's disciples were the weakest. Everyone pondered. If that was the case, it was really possible. Back then, some of Dong Wang's disciples were still alive. Of course, many of them died. Were those people really dead, or were they hidden by Dong Wang? Dong Wang was experimenting with the origin force combination method. Perhaps he had already succeeded. This place was only a part of his memory. Then what role did Dong Wang play in the battle when the heavenly realm was destroyed back then? Everyone was silent for a while. Hong Kuan frowned and said, no matter what, we still have to try. First, balance the origin force. Second, save people. Third, let the origin force maintain balance while saving people. Completing any one of these 3 could be the way to break through. As he said that, Hong Kuan said coldly, but no matter which one it is, there must be no interference. Among us, some people don't have the demeanor of a powerhouse at all. They are ruthless, shameless, despicable, Fong Ping yawned. Seeing him looking over, he cupped his hands casually, his face full of agreement. You're right. There is such a kind of person, but it's not me. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think I'm that kind of person. You might be talking about your younger brother, Hong Yu. King Kuan was a little tired. He said in a low voice, so we must eliminate such unexpected factors, or else we won't be able to break through. We also have to be careful of being plotted against. Everyone looked at Fong Ping, including Jiang Hao and the others, and that cat. The cat stared at Fong Ping with its eyes wide open, its face full of curiosity. If they wanted to kill you, what would you do? Fong Ping's face darkened. He said coldly, don't give me that. Come in and kill me if you can. What does this have to do with me? If you didn't provoke me first and threaten me, would I be your enemy? Fong Ping snorted. Some people never look for their own mistakes. They only know how to blame others. If the divine sect didn't play tricks on Earth, would I be your enemy on purpose? If the catacombs didn't have the intention to invade Earth, would I be your enemy? After years of killing, tens of millions of humans have died. Now that a few of your people have died, you're upset immediately? Fong Ping scolded. It's best if they kill you. If you're not convinced, then let's drag it out together. Let's see who can last longer. Coincidentally, I've gained a lot here. If I start cultivating now, even if I have to endure for 10,000 years, I won't die. I'll see if you guys die and how long your lifespans are. As soon as he said that, their expressions turned ugly. Feng Xiao chuckled. Fong Ping, since we're here, everyone wants to break through. Why don't we cooperate? I'm afraid of death. Fong Ping said indifferently, you're all in the same group. I'm afraid of death. I'll wait a little longer. I'll wait for the God Creation Envoy and the others to come. It's impossible to cooperate. I trust you guys, but you guys won't trust me. As Fong Ping said that, he smiled and said, but there's something we can try. Every now and then, one of you will go out and trigger a force riot. We'll investigate where the force imbalance is. This was not a problem. However, at this moment, Zhang Hao thought for a while and said, "We can't keep going in and out of the room. If we keep going, this seal will break and the breakthrough will fail." Fong Ping looked at him in surprise. Hong Yu frowned slightly too. "You still remember about the Demon Emperor?" Zhang Hao shook his head, then nodded slightly. "I remember a little, not much. But if we go in and out too much, the seal will break. I know this. How did the Demon Emperor break through back then?" "I don't remember." Zhang Hao saw that they did not believe him. He said lightly, "There's no need to lie to you guys. Because Unquestionable Jin said that everyone's breakthrough method is different and the rewards are different. So, don't use his memory to disturb me. Let me use the same method as him to break through." Everyone agreed with this. Everyone's method was different. If Unquestionable Jin had really left behind his method, then Zhang Hao might follow him. In that case, Zhang Hao would only be the second Unquestionable Jin. If Fong Ping had Unquestionable Jin's method, he might also pass through like Unquestionable Jin. Then, he would not have gained as much as he did now. A powerhouse's thought process was usually this unique. There's a restriction on entering and exiting the house. In that case, if the house breaks, we'll either exit the arcane realm or be killed. Because without the safe house, no one could withstand the continuous outburst of force. Whether they would fail and exit directly or continue to endure the outburst of force, they could not be sure. In that case, this round was quite risky. "We might die," Zhang Hao replied. "If we didn't break through the first few rounds, we might exit the arcane realm. In this round, there's a high chance of death." As soon as he said that, everyone did not even dare to leave the house. Hong Kuan had already exited twice. Right now, he said in a low voice, "How many times do we have to exit before the seal breaks?" "I don't know." Zhang Hao thought for a while and said, "No matter how many, we won't give you 100 chances. It might be even less." This was even more difficult. Everyone looked at each other. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was everyone's target of caution. Fong Ping pursed his lips. Too lazy to care about them, he began to close his eyes and cultivate vitality conversion. Having forged his jade bones, he actually needed time to convert his strength. It just so happened that he could cultivate a little longer in this round. It could also delay the others from breaking through. It was quite good. Rumble! The sound of an explosion rang out again. Li Zhu hurriedly retreated to the safe house. At this moment, it had been a while since they entered. Although Fong Ping was still there, a few of them began to probe. Li Zhu retreated while Hong Kuan stayed outside the safe house, defending with all his might. In his hand, he grabbed a wisp of gray energy. It was turbulent force. He did not enter the safe house because it was within the rules. The force would dissipate the moment it entered. If he wanted to probe, he would have to come out and endure the outburst of force. While analyzing the cause of the force explosion, Hong Kuan said in a low voice, "Unquestionable Jin and the others could break through that year probably because they did not endure the force attack. That means that he has shocking talent and amazing eyesight. He did not need to probe to discover the cause of the imbalance of force. Or there must be other ways to break through." When Unquestionable Jin was in this round, the most he could do was use the strength of a saint. He could not withstand the outburst of force. If that was the case, he either discovered the flaw of the force remotely and balanced it, or he used other ways to pass. Fong Ping looked at his vitality that had converted quite a bit. He yawned and said, "Simple. Kill Dongwang." "Anyway, I think killing Dongwang might be a solution. Everyone can kill Dongwang when he descends. Maybe there won't be any more problems." Really think about it. Without Dongwang's orders, how could there be a joint attack? Of course, there won't be an explosion of force. As soon as he said that, no one could refute him. It made so much sense. This was not fake. If they killed Dongwang, would the others not listen to their orders? Because no one gave the order. Hong Kuan did not say anything. He checked the force and returned to the safe house. He did not go in. This place kept on exploding. If this went on for a long time, he would not be able to hold on. Fong Ping did not care about them anymore. He looked at the gradually dissipating force and fell into deep thought. Previously, North King had told him that these 3 rounds might have some methods to completely unify. Actually, after so many rounds, Fong Ping had already felt that each round actually had its own characteristics. It was gradually making up for some of everyone's shortcomings. Was Dongwang's round just for the Force? Was it that simple? That was true. Force fusion was a very difficult thing to do. However, Emperor Nan's vitality restoration technique actually overlapped with this. What could Dongwang's round teach me? At this moment, Fong Ping seemed to see something. He suddenly glanced at the cat from the corner of his eyes. On the other side, the cat was bored from being locked up. At this moment, the cat stretched out its claws and was playing with the outburst of force. As if it was playing with a ball of yarn, the cat was playing with it enthusiastically. One moment it was squeezed into a ball, the next moment it was squeezed into a small fish, and the next moment it was squeezed into a small tiger. As if sensing that Fong Ping was looking at it, the cat turned its head and looked at Fong Ping innocently. Then, it sheepishly retracted its claws. Fong Ping's eyes moved slightly. This round might not only test those things. Yes, the fusion of force and the combo combat technique were all huge gains. However, for Fong Ping, he had actually already obtained these in the previous rounds. The biggest overlap was in the vitality restoration technique. The overlap between Emperor Nan's round and this round was too big. This cat is swimming in the force. Fong Ping's expression changed again and again. What did it mean? Body honing? Could it be that the outburst of force here was actually helping the challengers hone their bodies? So that the force will no longer explode but maintain balance. The imbalance of force here may not be a real imbalance, but it needs us to make up for some of the imbalances and allow ourselves to fuse with these force. Fong Ping's gaze changed again. Maybe this round of Dongwang's might have other hidden meanings. The imbalance of force would cause an explosion, but the balance of force was actually the best strength for honing the body. This Fong Ping had a deep understanding of. Back then, after he achieved balance, he used the force to hone his body. It was also at that time that the degree of honing of his jade bones appeared. It was also at that time that his several types of strength fused and transformed his bones from golden bones to jade bones. This round is for honing the body. Fong Ping felt that he might have discovered the true meaning of this round. The first 10 rounds were for them to make up for their flaws. The last 3 rounds might be for them to integrate the gains from the previous rounds. The changes in each round made them stronger and stronger. If that was the case, if Unquestionable Sword discovered this, then it might use his discovery to fuse itself into the chaotic force and hone itself. This way he would not be hurt. It would only make him stronger. Fong Ping felt that if he really discovered these special points, it was highly possible that he could pass this round this way. This was not a round, but a gift. Fong Ping glared at the cat. Seeing that no one was paying attention to it, he signaled with his eyes for it to retreat immediately. He could see the cat playing with the force and discover some clues. The others could too. However, for now, the others had not considered this point. That was why they had been analyzing the reason for the imbalance of force. Fong Ping did not want them to take advantage of this. Of course, very soon, Fong Ping realized that things were not that simple. At this time, King Kuan suddenly said, "Every time the force outburst, the unbalanced force is actually different. It's not fixed. Damn it, this round is harder than we thought. Every time, it's a different force that's out of balance." As soon as he said this, Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. If that was the case, if he wanted to hone his body, then he would also need to master a different force supplement during every outburst process so that the force would not be out of balance. If I didn't go through Heavenly Emperor Zhan's round, I wouldn't be able to achieve such precise force supplement. If I didn't go through Emperor Nan's round, I wouldn't be able to clearly understand the composition of the force. The previous rounds were actually prepared for the later rounds. Fong Ping understood. This mystic realm was indeed to make people more versatile. At this time, Fong Ping looked at the others and smiled. "I'll go out and take a look. Everyone, don't waste the opportunity to enter and exit. I'll be at the door. Don't think of killing me." As Fong Ping said that, he walked out of the safe house. The others did not say anything. It was good to let Fong Ping try. As soon as Fong Ping went out, the scene began to loop again. Fong Ping watched for a while and muttered, "I still think that killing Dong Wang is not bad. Too bad it's too far. I'm afraid that if I go and kill him, you guys will kill me before I come back. Forget it. I'm not going." At this time, the scene continued. Very soon, it was time for the force outburst. Fong Ping stood at the door. The force spread and exploded in an instant. Fong Ping was surrounded by the force. At this moment, his flesh was so strong that he felt like his flesh was about to explode. He quickly composed himself and quickly analyzed the cause of the force imbalance. In this explosion of force, there were hundreds of forces. Fong Ping frowned and quickly began to investigate and analyze. Mentality, vitality force, and vitality are all different. There's a slight difference, but it's not big. The ratio of the three is not 1:1. It's about 100, 101, 99. Fong Ping had to force himself. He could investigate more clearly than King Kuan. Very soon, Fong Ping had some conclusions. The three forces were unbalanced and different, which led to the force outburst. I need to replenish one part of mentality and 2 parts of vitality to make the force in this place balanced. At the thought of this, Fong Ping suddenly grabbed a strand of force and quickly filled it with strands of mentality and vitality before the other party exploded. The initially violent force suddenly calmed down. Of course, only the strand in his hand. Fong Ping let the force roll in his hand. It did not explode. Fong Ping tried to absorb it again. As expected, his flesh seemed to be tempered. The force surged in his flesh. Fong Ping's system did not have the function to recover force. Even if it did, he might not use it to hone his body now. But in this place, it was possible. Fong Ping's gaze changed. The system could recover vitality force and other forces. He did not need to recover himself. Instead, he could use it to replenish and make up for the imbalance of power in this place. After conversion, it would become force and then be used to hone his body. However, conversion in a small area was fine. Large scale, including integrating his entire body into the force, this required him to have superb control over his strength and be able to convert it in time. Interesting. Dong Wang's stage actually has this function. While Fong Ping was thinking about this, someone stretched out his arm as if by accident and shot out a wisp of vitality force. The force that had yet to erupt completely suddenly exploded in all directions with a loud boom. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He quickly retreated to the safe house and said angrily, "Childish. Stupid bird. I didn't go far. Go ahead and blow me up. If you blow me up, won't I blow you up later?" Hong Kuan sneered. "Just drag it out. I'm just trying. Not to mention, this power is more unbalanced, and the explosion will be more powerful. He was the one who did it earlier." Fong Ping thought this guy was childish. "I didn't go far. What's the use of blowing me up?" On the other side, Li Zhu and Hong Yu were having a headache. Was King Kuan that free? If you blew Fong Ping up, wouldn't this guy keep blowing you up? Don't you want to clear the stage? Fong Ping, on the other hand, thought of many things at this moment. His eyes suddenly lit up and he murmured in his heart, "It's not one person clearing the stage, but many people. Could it be that there's a deeper test? If I can quickly determine how much energy they add in and analyze it, then the energy they add will also become a part of the force and hone my body." The more Fong Ping thought about it, the more terrified he felt. If Dong Wang can do this, and someone uses force to fight him, he can quickly capture some of the imbalances and turn the enemy's force into his body-honing strength. Not only that, Fong Ping thought even more. Even if the enemy uses vitality force or mentality, he can completely make his force lose balance and directly absorb it to replenish it, turning it into a part of his strength. If that's the case, the enemy's attack power will instead become his power to hone his body. He can do this? Fong Ping swallowed. He did not think that Dong Wang was that scary before. But now, if Dong Wang could really achieve such accurate judgment, absorption, and conversion, then Dong Wang could be said to be invincible. Of course, if the other party's strength control was also terrifyingly strong, like Heavenly Emperor Zhan, who had 100% control, then Dong Huang might not be able to make use of it. But as long as it was not 100%, if Dong Huang could do this, then he was almost invincible. 5 people. When Mia said 5 people, including Dong Huang, Fang Ping thought that Mia had overestimated Dong Huang. When North King ranked his strength, Dong Huang was in the top 3, equal to Heavenly Emperor Reverse and Emperor God. At that time, Fang Ping felt that what North King said was not accurate. But now, who was first among the top 3 that North King mentioned? He only said top 3 and did not specifically say first and second. Did that mean that in North King's mind, Dong Huang was actually on the same level as the other 2 powerhouses? He was a level higher than the other emperors and venerable emperors? These people are causing trouble and exploding their energy. If I can quickly analyze the composition of the energy, I can quickly replenish my strength and make the force balance again. This is considered borrowing strength, but these people can't do it. So, they dare not come out and can only stay inside. If they come out, they have to be careful of losing the balance of their energy and getting killed by the explosion of the force. They can only watch helplessly as I temper my body. They don't even dare to cause trouble. This is a good way to piss people off, but these people are extremely powerful. I'm afraid it will be difficult for me to quickly analyze the composition of their energy. Fang Ping realized that this level had a very high requirement for personal qualities. He had to be powerful in all aspects. Maybe I can try to do a small-scale conversion honing. Fang Ping looked at Dong Huang's projection from the corner of his eyes. If his guess was right, this guy was indeed in the top 3 powerhouses. Imagine, when North King punched, he absorbed the energy and turned it into force to hone himself, and even hurt North King. How frustrated would North King be? Does this count as the star transposition art? Or even better, borrowing strength to fight strength was not enough. He could also replenish and strengthen his own strength. As for why he listed North King, it was because that guy bragged that he was very powerful. Dong Huang. Fang Ping did not feel anything else during this trip to the arcane realm. He only felt that all the emperors and venerable emperors were really not simple. He might have underestimated these guys in the past. Each was more cunning and difficult to deal with than the last. Was the silly celestial Emperor Batian really stupid? Or had he discovered something and purposely helped Ironhead? Was North King, who seemed easy to fool, being fooled on purpose, or did he have other motives? At this moment, Fang Ping was a little uncertain. Maybe you thought you were fooling them, but in fact, they were the ones snickering. Fooling a fool was quite fun. Fang Ping was that idiot. Fang Ping was a little embarrassed. No way? After all, it was just a projection, not the real body. Did he really have so many thoughts? No matter how I think about it, it seems that the Beast Emperor is the dumbest. Indeed, the demons are the dumbest. Fang Ping comforted himself. Others might have fooled him, but the Beast Emperor definitely did not, because he did not give it a chance at all. He killed it dozens of times directly. Whatever, I want to try. If I succeed in this level, my body might become more perfect and powerful. Even the conversion of force might accelerate. Fang Ping decided to not care so much. He would try it first. Chapter 1340. 10 levels passed. He is dead too. Just as Fang Ping was about to try, the young man who was observing the levels in the basilica murmured. Would he be able to pass this stage so quickly? This time, the young man even used some of his trump cards to gather these people together. He passed 10 levels. Not just Fang Ping. The young man also looked at Jiang Hao. Jiang Hao passed 10 levels too. Then at Hong Yu. Hong Yu passed 7 levels. King Kuan passed 8 levels, more than Hong Yu. Li Zhu passed 7 levels too. Feng did the same. These people passed the levels extremely quickly. It had not been long since they came in. The young man fell into deep thought. Should he try to pass all the levels now? No, not many people passed the levels of Emperor God and Emperor Heaven Reverse. Few people passed the levels, and the barriers were strong. It might not be successful. If the young man wanted to pass the final level, he might have to pass all the levels. The young man turned his head again and looked at another image. It was also a sealed basilica. In the basilica, an old man was sitting cross-legged. He had been sitting there for a long time. Everyone else was passing the levels, but he was not. The young man frowned slightly and murmured, "Jin, what are you trying to do now? This place might not be able to pass 9 levels." It was not that easy to pass 9 levels. The young man had been sitting there for a long time. He never tried to leave. Was it because he knew he could not leave, or because he had other plans? The young man was observing Heavenly King Jun. Right now, he was sitting cross-legged. Suddenly, Heavenly King Jun opened his eyes. He stared straight ahead, motionless. The corner of his lips curled up slightly. He murmured, "Which shameless bastard peeked at me? I've seen you a few times, and you're still peeking. Aren't you afraid you'll go blind?" He calculated the time. It had been 7 or 8 days since he came in. He wondered if Fong Ping and the others had come in and how many levels they had passed. "Qiong, don't you want to come in for a chat?" Heavenly King Jun stood up suddenly and shouted. No one answered. "Why keep me here? Are you afraid that I'll kill you?" Silence. Heavenly King Jun sighed. He walked around and suddenly looked at the top of the basilica. With a sudden laugh, the subduing Heavenly King took out a crystal chip from his pocket and said with a smile, "This is the latest movie projector developed by humans. Aren't you tired of watching this, old man? This thing could be a good thing. In the past, it could not be used in the catacombs. It took a lot of manpower and material resources to research. Forget it, you've lucked out. I won't look at it anymore. You can have a look." As he spoke, he enlarged the crystal and threw it into the air, instantly covering the roof. At this moment, in the hall where the young man was, suddenly something different appeared on the screen. The young man looked over and his face darkened. On the screen, there were 2 people. They were all men. One of them was even kneeling. Of course, it wasn't some messy little movie. The man kneeling on the ground had 3 big words above his head: Peeping Tom. Ancient characters. The one standing seemed to be the Heavenly King Jun. At this moment, with a slap, the person kneeling on the ground flew up. Pa! Another slap. Slap after slap, the other party kowtowed and begged for mercy. "Grandpa, spare me." The young man could not hear the voice, but there was a text accompanying it. That's right, he even had words on him. High tech. The one that the Heavenly King Suppressing had taken out could play movies from Earth, and it could also be transformed by one's own energy input. It would be a complete waste if the Heavenly King Suppressing didn't make movies. Who is your grandfather? The Heavenly Hound is your grandfather. A string of words appeared above the subduing Heavenly King's head. It was a silent movie version. Pa! With a single kick, he turned his opponent into a pig's head. Pung, pung, pung. A series of violent beatings caused the kneeling man to burst into tears. The scene continued to play out everything. The more the young man watched, the more irritated he became. The young man was not surprised that Jun Jun had discovered some clues. But wasn't this guy too bored? Was that necessary? Boring. The young man harumphed coldly and was just about to turn off the screen when, after some thought, he decided not to. If he did, he would have no idea what the town was up to. The young man did not close it, and the scene continued to play out. From being pummeled at the start to being stuffed into a cesspit, bitten by a dog, ridden by a pig. All kinds of bizarre things happened. That was not all. Soon, a group of wretched men appeared on the screen. There were some names marked on it. The Sea Guardian, the Kuan Peng, was enormous. The son of the earthly emperor, Hong Kuan, had a strong body. These people or demons transformed into wretched men and began to touch the kneeling man. The young man felt that he had to kill the town. Damn, what was this guy thinking? He had lived for so many years, yet he was so childish, so boring, so wretched, so hateful. Although the person who had turned into a peeping Tom had no face in the scene, and the subduing Heavenly King did not know if the person peeping on him was the divine emperor or someone else, it did not stop him from disgusting people. In the next moment, an invisible scene happened on the screen. The young man's face was dark. This old guy who had lived for tens of thousands of years actually used this to disgust him. It was unexpected. The accompanying text continued, and some vulgar words marked in ancient characters appeared. The young man really could not watch anymore. With a cold snort, he waved his hand, and the screen turned dark. He could not watch anymore. If the subduing heavenly king used other methods, even if he meditated for 100 or 1,000 years, the young man could continue watching. He had patience. But watching this scene was really unbearable for the young man. Disgusting. In the divine emperor hall, the subduing heavenly king was whistling a tune in a good mood. Still peeping? This old man has better, exclusive short movies that haven't been played yet. The subduing heavenly king chuckled and said, for example, the Kuan Peng's transformation and the Beast Emperor's transformation haven't started yet. I hope you can continue watching. The subduing heavenly king stroked his beard and murmured, the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors can all evolve? No, forget about the spirit sovereign. You're lucky. The monster race can all evolve and let you see. The subduing heavenly king laughed wretchedly and quickly returned to the appearance of an expert. This old man is a decent person. It was someone else who peeped at me first. Otherwise, this old man, an expert, would not do such a thing. The feeling of being spied on lessened a lot. The subduing heavenly king laughed again. It seemed that the peeping fellow had already seen the scene and did not want to watch anymore. The subduing heavenly king pondered for a while and began to walk around the hall. He fiddled with it here and there. Soon, the subduing heavenly king panted and chuckled. It's getting more and more interesting. I hope it's of some use. After thinking for a while, he looked at the main entrance of the hall again. Chiong, are you there? If you will, let me out for a chat. If you don't let me out, I'll go out myself. You really won't let me out? If you don't let me out, I'll go out. The subduing heavenly king laughed and walked towards the main entrance. The door of the hall was tightly shut, and the power of the rule filled the air. It was very strong. The subduing heavenly king glanced at it and chuckled. The power of the rule in this place has all gathered here. You really think highly of this old man. Say, why do you have to lock me up? I haven't been able to go to other places to take a look until now. As the subduing heavenly king spoke, his hand gently brushed the door of the hall. A gray force filled the air and slowly eroded the power of the rule. Gradually, the power of the rule spread out. The subduing heavenly king smiled and said, it's not weak. It's not a problem to lock up Guan Hongquan and the others, but this old man is not Hongquan. Soon, the power on the door began to fade. A lot of the power of the rule was directly destroyed. The subduing heavenly king casually pierced through the door of the hall and went out. At the same time, another subduing heavenly king appeared in the hall, sitting cross-legged and cultivating. The subduing heavenly king was full of smiles. Then, he grabbed the void with one hand, and the power of the rule spread out. The subduing heavenly king began to repair the door that had just been broken. In the blink of an eye, the door was sealed, and it was the same as before. Outside the hall, the subduing heavenly king rubbed his chin and was quite satisfied. He smiled and said, not bad. It's not inferior to the God creation envoy's counterfeiting abilities. Then his figure changed, and in the blink of an eye, he turned into a stranger. No, it wasn't a stranger. It was Chiong, the appearance of the divine emperor. The subduing heavenly king was very satisfied. His aura fluctuated slightly, and in an instant his aura became somewhat strange. Look at my heaven-concealing technique. With a low shout, a lot of power of the rule appeared outside the subduing heavenly king's body. The power of the rule filled the air, and his aura became even more blurry. At this time, the subduing heavenly king walked towards another hall in front of him. As he walked, he said coldly, how dare you impersonate this emperor? Die! In the hall in front of him, a figure slowly appeared. He looked exactly the same as the subduing heavenly king. The only difference was his attire. In the blink of an eye, the subduing heavenly king's attire changed. After thinking for a moment, he smiled and said, it's still a little lacking. You're a researcher, and I'm a martial artist. No, I have to change. After saying that, the subduing heavenly king's appearance did not change, but his temperament instantly changed. The previously cold him now had a hint of gentleness. His face was filled with the aura of a scholar, and there was even a hint of elegance on it. Like a teacher, the subduing heavenly king had his hands behind his back. His voice had also changed as he said with a faint smile, "There's no benefit in pretending to be this emperor. Why bother?" On the other side, the divine emperor looked at him and said softly, "Jean, long time no see. Jean, long time no see." The divine emperor sighed once again, and the subduing heavenly king sighed as well. Then he smiled and said, "Don't say it. It's been too long since we last met. I've forgotten some of your habits. Come to think of it, you can be considered my martial uncle. You haven't taken care of me for so many years. How ungrateful." The subduing heavenly king nagged, "Master couldn't have been killed by you, right? Forget it, the old fellow isn't weak either. You might not have the ability to do so. I don't want to care about you guys being so mysterious." However, the subduing heavenly king sighed again, "But can't you tell me something? Give me some benefits? We're all family, yet you're still so petty. There's nothing I can say." The subduing heavenly king shook his head and said, "Forget it, cut the crap. Those things you said might not be useful. Your projection seems to have been erased by someone. Could it be that someone erased your memory? Who did it? I smell this. It's a little familiar. Looks like it's not you spying on me. This is the smell of the tree you planted? That tree is spying on me?" The subduing heavenly king rubbed his chin and quickly gave up this action. This habit was not good. It was all led astray by Zhang Tao and Fang Ping. He put down his hand and continued to put his hands behind his back. The subduing heavenly king muttered, "That tree is already so strong. There's no justice in this world. Say, if you give me some benefits, I'll become an emperor. How can I forget you? But you won't. Forget it. I'll just beat you to death and replace you." "Oh, there's still the power of the rule on your head? Does that mean you have other uses?" The subduing heavenly king nagged. The divine emperor opposite him did not say anything else. A palm condensed a large amount of power of the rule and slapped toward him. The heaven-suppressing heavenly king followed suit and struck out with his palm. He sent a palm over, and it was also rule force. However, heavenly King Jun was still not satisfied. "Quite strong power. It's a bit hard for me to control it. Suppressing my own power and forcefully changing it into this power. Forget it. That's enough. Outside is the rule power, inside is my own power. Anyway, those guys are very stupid. They won't be able to see it." The heaven-suppressing heavenly king smiled and said, "Breaking through the levels, right? There should be quite a few levels. Sooner or later, someone will come to this level. Should I set up some difficulties for them to break through? For example, if they tell me that they peed their pants when they were young and describe the process in detail, I will let them pass." After laughing for a while, the heaven-suppressing heavenly king and the divine emperor quickly exchanged over 1,000 moves. Heavenly King Jun's movements were becoming more and more similar to him. Seeing that it was about time, Heavenly King Jun didn't delay any longer and directly grabbed at the God Emperor. Just as the God Emperor was about to retreat, Heavenly King Jun laughed and said, "Come, have a taste of the sleeve universe." With a wave of his hand, heaven and earth changed color. The sky was dark. Rumble. The area where the divine emperor was located was directly covered in darkness. In the blink of an eye, the divine emperor disappeared. Heavenly King Jun shook his sleeves and said with a smile, "Great immortal Jin Yuanzi is here. Ahem, I am Qiong. You can stay in my sleeve for a while." "You don't say. This move is quite useful. As expected, I still need to watch more to stimulate my creative ideas." It seemed extremely easy for Heavenly King Jun to capture the Divine Emperor. Without saying anything else, Heavenly King Jun walked into the hall that the Divine Emperor had just come out from with his hands behind his back. His movements, form, and posture were exactly the same as the Divine Emperor just now. He was now in charge of this level. The peeping guy should be that tree. That guy should be in another level. Wait a minute, he should still need this old man. Heavenly King Jin thought, and looked in the direction of the hall where he was previously. At this moment, there seemed to be some changes in the sky over there and a tiny, almost invisible tentacle spread out from the void. In the blink of an eye, the tentacle disappeared. In the hall where the young man was, the scene of Heavenly King Jin sitting cross-legged and cultivating appeared again. Not only that, Heavenly King Jin, who was sitting cross-legged and cultivating, also looked up and gave a middle finger. Interesting, he really passed through this level. It seems like this guy has grasped quite a bit of the rule power here all these years. He's very strong. Heavenly King Jin wanted to rub his chin, but quickly gave up and continued to think. Would he be able to get any benefits this time? Also, don't let anyone save my trapped fake body. Fong Ping and the God Creation Envoy, don't even think about saving me. Just let me be trapped to death, I don't mind. Just as Heavenly King Jun easily subdued the Divine Emperor. The others were also moving. At the Human Emperor's level, the Human Emperor sent away a challenger. After thinking for a while, he waved his hand, and the teleportation channel was forcefully sealed by him. He would not receive anyone in this level. The Human Emperor looked at the condensed rule power in the sky and frowned slightly. He did not move. Although he had broken the rules, he had only sealed the passageway. It was not as if he did not let others pass. If you have the ability, you can come in and break through. Spirit Emperor's checkpoint. The Spirit Emperor dragged a dead dog and looked at the sky. After thinking for a while, he opened the passageway and kicked the dead dog in. Woof! You evil bitch, if you come and bite you to death next time, I will spare your life this time. The heavenly dog roared. It was as if the dead dog from before was not him. At this moment, the heavenly dog became arrogant once again. Didn't you send me through obediently? Do you think I am no match for you? I just wanted to pass earlier and deliberately let you go. If you have the guts, let's fight for another 300 rounds. Bang! The passageway closed and the heavenly dog fell to the ground. The Spirit Emperor's entire body was overflowing with cold air. This dog deserved to be beaten to death. The heavenly dog widened its eyes, dumbfounded. What's wrong? What's wrong? Didn't he leave? Why did he come back? At the side, the three cats covered their eyes with their short claws. They couldn't look at it anymore. The big dog was so pitiful. If I send you away, you should just leave obediently. It's over. This time, he was really going to be beaten into a dead dog. Woof! A mournful dog barked. The heavenly dog was about to go crazy. It wasn't like this. Heavenly Emperor Jean. Heavenly Emperor Jean appeared again with little cat in his hands, looking aggrieved. Heavenly Emperor Jean muttered, "Don't break the rules to steal the seed's energy. You stupid cat, the seed has already realized that something is wrong. I can't hide it for too long. You exchanged the seed's energy for some useless food." Sigh. Little cat risked its life to steal a bunch of small fishes. If it wasn't for him secretly shattering the rules, it would have been killed long ago. Even so, it still wanted to steal and exchange it for food. What a fool. Meow. What are you barking for? After this, you should disappear. But that's true. It's not bad to be a satisfied cat before I die. Meow. Is it delicious? Heavenly Emperor Jean suddenly smiled and took a bag of snacks from little cat's paws. You're a smart cat. You even know how to bribe me. Let me have a taste. After so many years, perhaps I can have a real meal. He tore open the bag, took a chip, and stuffed it into his mouth. He chewed slowly, and suddenly, tears welled up in his eyes. He said softly, "You stupid cat, you know how to buy people's hearts. Go, don't steal too much. This little bit of power is not enough to stop me." Meow. Little cat flew into the sky, tore through the sky, and disappeared instantly. Heavenly Emperor Jean looked up at the sky and laughed. He really wanted to go out and take a look. Perhaps he would never have the chance again. Beside him, another person appeared. This person was like a child, and he shouted, "Read properly." After shouting, the child's tears flowed down. He choked and said, "Master, send them out of seclusion. The power of the rules has been depleted, and this place is no longer safe." Silly child. Heavenly Emperor Jean chuckled. They're already dead, so how can they be safe? Let them learn more and pass down my cultivation technique. I won't leave my name in life, but I will leave my name in death. That way, my life will not be in vain. Master, after this, you can leave. Leave alive. You don't have much lifespan left. Spend tens of thousands of years here with me, sigh. With another sigh, Heavenly Emperor Jean looked up at the sky and smiled. This time, I've obtained some opportunities for you. When you go out, observe more and speak less. Don't choose sides easily, and don't trust those people easily. They have accompanied me for tens of thousands of years. That's enough. The child choked and was speechless. Heavenly Emperor's voice became softer. I will create some opportunities for you. Pretend that you have just awakened and appear in the three realms. Remember, until the last moment, do not reveal your strength. Master, the child choked. I want to take revenge for you. Revenge? After killing so many times, there is no more grudge. Furthermore, you won't be able to take revenge. Then, do you have any last wishes? The child became even more sorrowful. Last wishes. Heavenly Emperor Jean was speechless for a long time. Suddenly, he laughed. Go and take a look at the inheritor of my source. If he doesn't like to study, send him to school and let him read thousands of books before letting him leave. Heavenly Emperor smiled. His smile was bright. The child choked again. At this moment, a cat fell from the sky. Heavenly Emperor Jean caught it casually. With a burst of energy, the nomological force was destroyed. Cat was holding onto a huge ball of life force. Meow. Heavenly Emperor Jean laughed again. Don't go. If you want to exchange for something delicious, you can do so in a few days. If you go now, I won't be able to protect you. Meow. Big Cat is gone. What should I do? Cat stopped meowing and started to speak. Stupid cat. It still wants to exchange for your fish. Go and exchange for it. It will do it. Heavenly Emperor Jean laughed and threw Cat aside. He walked away and patrolled the school. This school was about to be destroyed. It was a pity. The child behind him cried and fell to the ground. Seeing this, Cat passed a bag of chips over and meowed. Delicious, delicious. Little guy, remember to take care of Big Cat. Big Cat said that there are people bullying it. There are many bad people. The child received the chips and did not know whether to laugh or cry. Master said that you know how to buy people's hearts. You really know how to use it. You want to buy me over a bag of food? Meow. Cat looked dejected. I don't have any more. I only have a few bags left. Do you want more? I don't want it. I'll keep it for myself. The child smiled and was no longer sad. He opened the bag and took out the chips. He chewed them slowly, just like Heavenly Emperor Jean. Heavenly Emperor Jean could not taste it, but the child could. The more he ate, the more bitter it tasted. His tears fell again. Cat looked at him strangely and meowed. I'm crying because of the delicious food. I must take good care of Big Cat. I will. The child nodded and smiled. His tears evaporated. You've bought me over with this bag of food. Azure Cat. Call me Cat. If Big Cat is here, I won't be Azure Cat anymore. The child smiled. Cat, do you want to go out with me? No. Cat scurried out and shook its fat butt. Big Cat is already outside. I don't want to go out. The teacher is dying. I will go with him to another world to eat delicious food. Drip, drip, the child's tears fell again. Could it be that he could not avoid this day? In front, Heavenly Emperor Jean was patrolling the school with a smile. Behind him, a cat was jumping happily. He was the only one who could not see through life and death. Chapter 1341. Dongwang Checkpoint. Fong Ping walked out of the safe house again. Hong Kuan and the rest looked at him. Fong Ping smiled. Why are you looking at me? Do you want to come out together? They did not say anything. Right now, they were still analyzing the pattern of the force explosion and the way to balance it. Fong Ping, on the other hand, stood at the door, watching the scene in the square from afar. Boom! The force exploded again. A powerful force swept over. Fong Ping's eyes glowed. From afar, he started analyzing the flaws of the unstable force. Mentality Replenishment 2, Vitality Replenishment 1. Fong Ping quickly analyzed the flaws this time. Analyzing the flaws was not enough. The energy needed to be perfectly integrated into the force. If he was not careful, the force would explode. Fong Ping took a deep breath. The moment the force attacked him, he rushed straight into a huge ball of force. Boom! A portion of the force exploded in the force ball. The force was endless. Fong Ping could only replenish it within his control. Out of his control, he did not dare to recklessly replenish it, in case it caused an even bigger explosion. Fong Ping grunted. He quickly controlled the force around him and replenished the energy he needed. Right now, Fong Ping had integrated a small portion of the force. Li Zhu and the rest looked at him. Li Zhu frowned slightly. Hong Yu's gaze flickered. Fong Ping's improvement was frightening. He had balanced a portion of the force. This meant that Fong Ping's control and analysis of force had reached a peak. This was not something that could be achieved just because one was strong. Fong Ping's improvement was too fast. To them, Fong Ping might be strong, but he did not know much about this. Now, it seemed like they had underestimated him. The few Breaking 8 powerhouses present did not dare to say that their control of force was better than Fong Ping's. Otherwise, they would not have been waiting to judge and look for patterns. Li Zhu and Hong Yu looked at Hong Kuan. Hong Kuan attacked and exploded Fong Ping once. Should he try again? Hong Kuan's expression was dark. He could not be bothered with them. If you want to do it yourself. Right now, Hong Kuan ignored them. He looked at Fong Ping at the force ball. Fong Ping's jade bones exploded, his flesh turning transparent. He could not help but look solemn. This guy was even scarier than his father's checkpoint. He had forged jade bones. Not only had he forged his jade bones, but even his golden body had been tempered to the extreme. Which stage was he trying to pass? How did he become so strong, so quickly? Jade bone, Hong Kuan murmured and exhaled softly. He had shattered a gate. It wasn't the gate of qi and blood, but the gate of energy. Ancient warriors cultivated qi and blood, but there were still some who cultivated energy. Since Emperor of Heaven Reverse began to cultivate energy, there were others who followed suit. At the later stage of Hong Kuan realm, he switched to cultivating energy. He broke the door of energy. He, whose gate of life had yet to shatter, was on the verge of doing so. This also meant that he hadn't forged his jade bones, but his bones were much stronger than ordinary golden bones 9 refinements, close to the level of jade bones. Now, however, Fong Ping had forged jade bones. Hong Kuan did not cause trouble this time. Since Fong Ping had come out, he would not do something pointless. He wanted to see what Fong Ping was up to. Balance the origin power? Save someone? Or something else? Hong Kuan stared at Fong Ping without blinking. Because Fong Ping was outside, the outburst of origin power had not stopped. However, Fong Ping was not seriously injured. He quickly balanced the origin power around him. Although the origin power around him kept squeezing him and even exploded in many places, Fong Ping's small piece maintained its balance. The small ball of origin power that Fong Ping guided began to expand quickly. New clusters of origin power surged in. Fong Ping started to feel strained. He could not control them. Around him there were some explosions. Fong Ping's flesh glowed, resisting these explosive forces. Hong Kuan was still watching. Not only him, but the others were also paying attention. They knew Fong Ping's personality very well. He would not wake up early without benefits. The first time he could say that he felt it, but the second time he came out very quickly. This was not as simple as feeling it. He might have discovered something or found a way to pass the stage. Fong Ping also knew that everyone was staring at him. Suddenly, he looked at Moon Spirit. Multitasking, he smiled and said, "Moon Spirit, I promised you before that I would gift you a body of jade bones. However, I didn't expect that I would forge my jade bones so quickly, and even forge my 9 refinements physique. If that's the case, I don't want to dismantle the jade bones anymore." Moon Spirit looked at him, saying nothing. Fong Ping smiled again. "I still have a lot of powerful vitality left from this arcane realm. The origin power explosion here is actually also a good place to hone your bones. You can absorb the vitality and repair yourself. Forging your bones will be even more effective. You won't die from the explosion so easily. You have half a jade bone to begin with. I believe that you will be able to forge real jade bones very soon. Moon Spirit's eyes moved slightly. Before she could speak, Fong Ping laughed and said, "If you're interested, come and forge your bones by my side. I'll protect you." Shameless. No one said this, but it rose in everyone's hearts at the same time. Zhang Hao and the others rolled their eyes. Why must you let Moon Spirit hone her bones by your side? Do you really think no one knows what you're up to? Fong Ping smiled again. Moon Spirit, do you want to try? Now that the three realms are in chaos, your jade bones are still incomplete. If this goes on, I'm afraid you'll be stuck at the early stage of Broken 7 for a long time. Moon Spirit gave him a deep look. Everyone knew what Fong Ping was trying to do. If she went to Fong Ping's side, would Hong Yu attack Fong Ping? Right now, Fong Ping might want to stay outside forever, but he was worried that someone would plot against him and use her as a shield. However, the temptation of jade bones was irresistible. If Hong Yu did not attack, would Li Zhu attack? What about Hong Kun? As for Fong, if the others did not attack, he would not interfere either. Moon Spirit glanced at Hong Yu, who was not far away. Hong Yu's expression did not change. He did not look at Moon Spirit but at Fong Ping. After staring for a while, he said coldly, "Since you promised Moon Spirit that I'll give you a set of jade bones, why don't you just break your bones and fulfill your promise?" Fong Ping smiled. "I promised Moon Spirit, not you. Aren't I discussing it now? Do you want to absorb my bones or my pure vitality?" Fong Ping said playfully, "If I break my bones and Moon Spirit absorbs them, she'll be connected to my bones. Besides, my bones, aren't you afraid that I'll tamper with them? Hong Yu, what do you think?" Hong Yu's expression was slightly ugly, but he did not say anything. Fong Ping smiled and looked at Moon Spirit again. "Moon Spirit, you choose. You're also a martial artist who broke through rank 7. Besides, it's actually very dangerous for you to come here. So people might not care about that. I don't really have much hope. Why don't I help you test it out?" Moon Spirit looked at him. She, who was sitting cross-legged, stood up and walked out of the safe house. The force around her exploded instantly, flesh and blood splattering everywhere. Moon Spirit did not care about this. She revealed her crystal-clear bones and walked towards Fong Ping step by step. She said coldly, "Of course I want to forge jade bones. So what if I take the risk? If I really attack, I might still stand a chance. If you, Fong Ping, dare to do it, I, Moon Spirit, dare to do it too." A set of armor appeared outside Moon Spirit's body, covering her bones. It was not completely exposed, and she did not continue to let others see her flesh explode. Pink Skull. When Moon Spirit walked to Fong Ping's side, her gorgeous appearance had long disappeared. All that was left was her skull. She was as cold and arrogant as ever. Even though she had turned into a skeleton, Moon Spirit did not lower her head. She said coldly, "I agree. I'll use my vitality to exchange for it. However, you have to help me forge jade bones successfully. If I fail, you still have to provide your vitality." "Sure." Fong Ping agreed without hesitation. A jade bottle shot toward her. At this moment, a powerful wave of mentality swept over. Someone had been waiting for this. Fong rushed out of the safe house immediately. His mentality erupted, even temporarily suppressing the force that had erupted. The jade bottle was flipped open. At this moment, another powerful wave of mentality erupted. Hong Yu stepped out of the safe house, his long hair fluttering in the wind. He said coldly, "Fong, that's not yours." Fong was also a mentality illusionary world. At this moment, he was standing on an island, surrounded by the sound of crashing waves. Feng's gaze was like the sun and the moon. He said coldly, "I want it too." To him, forging his jade bones was more urgent than breaking through to the 8th rank. His flesh had always been weak. His bones were not strong. Although his mentality was incomparably strong, it had suppressed his progress in other areas. He had no choice but to look for annihilation to ask about the ultimate path. But was he willing? He was not willing. If he really wanted to walk the path of the ultimate path, he could have asked annihilation. But he did not. because he did not want to become an ultimate emperor. He wanted to become a sovereign. At this moment, with such a large amount of vitality before him, how could he not be tempted? Hong Yu, are you trying to stop me? Feng's eyes were cold. I know very well what kind of person you are. You are a heartless person. Why do you have to pretend? You went to the Divine Palace before the war in the Heaven Realm. Do you really think I don't know? What? As soon as he heard this, Hongquan walked out of the safe house. His hair flew into the air as he shouted, Feng, say that again. Feng sneered. Hongquan, I think your father's death has something to do with Hong Yu. Earthly Sovereign must have been prepared, but he was still killed. Earthly Sovereign is so powerful. Apart from Emperor God and Emperor of Heaven Reverse, who else can kill him? Was Earthly Sovereign powerful? Very powerful. According to the ranking, he should be ranked 4th among the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors. Emperor Do, Emperor God, Emperor East. After those 3 would be Earthly Sovereign. What was more, Earthly Sovereign was prepared. It would not be easy for the others to kill him, even if they worked together. But Earthly Sovereign was dead. Feng sneered. Hong Yu built the Earthly Sovereign dynasty in the name of Earthly Sovereign. You have always been against him. Don't you have any ideas? I'm afraid you have. Hong Yu must have been to the place where your father died. He even took away his imperial qi. Does he have the ability to do that? There must be other emperors helping him. Who was helping him? He became an inspector. Do you think the inspector was built by the human sovereign? Without the approval of the Emperor God. Do you think the other emperors would let Hong Yu build the dynasty and gather the fate of the 3 universes? Hong Kuan was enraged. His energy soared to the sky. There were some things that he knew. There were some things that he suspected. But today, Feng said that Hong Yu had been to the Divine Palace. Hong Kuan shouted coldly, Hong Yu, tell me, did you go to the Divine Palace after father left those words or before? Boom! There was an explosion of energy and the origin forces nearby. Hong Kuan did not care at all. He let the energy attack him and shouted again, tell me. Before this, it was nothing. After this, he, Hong Kuan, would not forgive Hong Yu. On the other side, Fong Ping was surprised. There was a good show to watch. Although the 2 brothers were enemies in the past, it was impossible for Hong Kuan and Hong Yu to fight to the death. But now, judging from Hong Kuan's words, if Hong Yu really went to the Divine Palace after Earthly Emperor told them something, Hong Kuan might kill him. Did Hong Yu betray Earthly Sovereign? Before the war, Earthly Sovereign seemed to have left some last words for his 2 sons, including some benefits. He must have told them something too. Did Hong Yu betray Earthly Sovereign? Hong Yu's expression was cold. He said in a low voice, I did not betray father. Let me ask you, before or after? Hong Kuan's long hair turned from black to red. His murderous aura soared to the sky. This meant that he was really angry. He could endure anything but his father's death because of Hong Yu's betrayal. That was their father. Moreover, their father had doted on them since they were young. How could Hong Yu do that? How dare he? Clang! A crisp sound reverberated in all directions. It was the sound of a sword. A long sword appeared in Hong Kuan's hand. At this moment, Moon's spirit frowned slightly. Her body trembled slightly. A long sword appeared in front of her, but she quickly suppressed it. Earthly Sovereign Sword. Moon's spirit had the Earthly Sovereign Sword and the North Sovereign Saber. She had never given the Earthly Sovereign Sword to anyone. Hong Kuan and Hong Yu had never asked for it either. But today, this sword appeared on its own, with the intention of gathering at Hong Kuan's side. Hong Kuan did not care about this. The demigod long sword in his hand instantly turned blood red. He growled, I'll ask you again. Before or after? Hong Yu looked at him and said softly, After. Bastard. Hong Kuan was furious. He attacked with his sword. On the other side, Feng Gang wanted to continue snatching it. Hong Yu frowned and growled, Brotherly, stop him. Li Zhu sighed and walked out of the safe house. He looked at them, then at Moon's spirit, feeling helpless. He actually hoped that Feng Gang would calm Moon's spirit down. But now, he and Hong Yu were one. Hong Yu had made it clear that he would not allow Feng to snatch it. He could not say anything. As he blocked Feng Gang's way, he said, King Kuan, this is only Feng's side of the story. Even if brother you really went to the Divine Palace back then, it does not mean anything. Why do you have to use force? These two brothers were both at the Breakthrough 8 level, and they were not weak at that level. Including him, there were 3 top-notch cultivators at the Breakthrough 8 level. Moreover, King Qian and the Weapon Master were almost at the Breakthrough 8 level. Once they did so, they would have 5 cultivators at the Breakthrough 8 level. They would be one of the top forces in the 3 realms. But now, the brothers were already at each other's throats. Li Zhu felt a little regretful. He still wanted to explain and fight for it. But to powerful cultivators like them, Hong Kuan was certain that Hong Yu had betrayed the earthly sovereign. Moreover, Hong Yu was unwilling to say anything. This gave Li Zhu a headache. Hong Kuan continued to question him, but Hong Yu remained silent and did not explain. Wasn't this intensifying the conflict? Sometimes, Li Zhu really did not understand what Hong Yu was thinking. Take Moon Spirit, for example. What was Hong Yu thinking? Feng wanted to attack them. If he hardened his heart and they attacked together, both Feng Ping and Moon Spirit might be killed. Was it really hard for Hong Yu to give up on their relationship as husband and wife? Although he was unhappy, Li Zhu did not say anything else. Hong Yu's attitude was clear. If he did not attack, there would be a gap between the two of them. The heavenly court strength had already been greatly damaged, and the human strength had increased. Feng Ping and the others had made it clear that they wanted to take revenge. It would be stupid to cause internal conflict now. Li Zhu did not say anything else. He flew into the air and blocked Feng. Rumble. Origin forces exploded in all directions. Li Zhu let out a muffled groan. Feng also trembled slightly. Fighting in such an environment was a fatal test for everyone. If everyone worked together to resist, it would be better. There should not be too much danger. But now, not only did they not work together, but they also wanted to fight. If this went on, they would all be in danger. Feng Ping could not be bothered with the 4 of them. Moon Spirit quickly grabbed the jade bottle in her hand. The next moment, a thick wave of vitality surged. Feng and Li Zhu were actually jealous. But Li Zhu thought about it and still did not turn his head. Feng wanted to snatch it, but Li Zhu was blocking him. Even if he and Li Zhu died together, there would be no benefit. Feng's expression changed for a while. He let out a cold humph and did not say anything. But he did not enter the house. At this moment, he was also quickly balancing the origin forces. As a powerhouse in the path of mentality, a strong mentality was still very helpful in analyzing the origin forces. The origin forces that exploded around him were slowly being balanced. On the other side, the 2 brothers did not stop. At this moment, Hong Kuan was furious. Holding a long sword, he charged toward Hong Yu. Hong Yu was also a top-notch powerhouse with a broken 8. At this moment, he was fighting and retreating, not saying a word. Hong Kuan could not do anything to him. Both sides were fighting. Initially, Feng only wanted to try to balance the origin forces. But soon, Feng's expression changed slightly. He turned his head to look at Feng Ping. He sensed something. The origin forces around Feng Ping had decreased slightly. His mentality was strong. He could sense some changes. At this moment, his mentality exploded rapidly, covering the surroundings. In the next moment, even though Feng Ping had stopped moving, he still felt something. Seeing the wisp of origin forces on Feng Ping's arm, Feng's gaze sharpened instantly. Using origin forces to hone his body? Such boldness. Actually, he knew that origin forces could be used to hone his body. But there was too much origin forces here, and it was not balanced. If he was not careful, he would explode. Once that happened, his body would explode. So in the beginning, he did not think in this direction. However, at this moment, seeing Feng Ping do it, Feng's expression changed for a while. Suddenly, he gritted his teeth. I'll do it too. I won't live if I don't go crazy. Until now, he still had a broken 8 gate. Maybe it was because he lacked some ruthlessness. Sometimes worrying too much might not be a good thing. Body honing. Body honing. His body was very weak. This had always been his biggest weakness. If he could successfully hone his bones with the help of origin forces today, his strength would also increase greatly. Humph! A muffled groan was heard. Opposite him, Li Zhu was slightly stunned. Feng's body suddenly exploded. Flesh and blood exploded. A wave of origin forces overflowed from his body. This time, Li Zhu was also a smart person, but he had never come into contact with origin forces before, so he did not know much about some of its effects. Li Zhu's expression changed. Suddenly, he turned to look at Fang Ping. Seeing his look, Fang Ping knew that these people already knew. He did not waste any more time and quickly shouted, "Big cat, come out and use origin forces to hone your body." Meow. The cat was still watching the show. Hearing Fang Ping's shout, it said strangely, "Why do you want to hone your body? This cat has jade bones and jade body." Fang Ping cursed in his heart. Was it that fast? Then convert origin forces. Done converting. Then stop talking nonsense. Go to Jiang Hao and the others and help them try to balance their origin forces. Convert origin forces to hone their bodies and bones. Fang Ping was helpless. This cat was getting stronger and stronger. After converting origin forces, he did not expect his body to have reached such a level. Other than the vitality conversion from jade bones, which had not been completed, the cat was almost at its peak. As he shouted, Fang Ping said to Li Zhu and the others, "Everyone, there's no need for us to kill each other. Everyone can gain something from this round. If you keep me busy and I keep you busy, in the end, we will not gain anything. Our enemies are not each other, but stronger powerhouses." Although Fang Ping hoped that Hong Kuan and Hong Yu would continue fighting, these two fellows were fighting so hard that the surrounding origin forces were extremely unstable. Everywhere was exploding. Even he could not take it anymore. At this moment, Fang Ping said again, "King Kuan, your father was killed by a top-level emperor. It's useless even if you kill Hong Yu. Why don't you stay here and use origin forces to hone your body and bones? If you don't become an emperor, how are you going to take revenge?" With the two of them fighting, these people could forget about honing their origin forces. The triggered origin forces kept exploding. Fang Ping was already losing control. Moon Spirit was trembling all over. If it was not for her abundant vitality that was repairing her body and bones, she would have been blown to death. On the other side, Hong Kuan's expression changed again and again. Suddenly he roared, his eyes blood red. "Hong Yu, I will settle this score with you in the future." He wanted to become stronger too. He had come here for the sake of becoming stronger, not for the sake of killing and exterminating his enemies. Origin force honing. Let's try. Hong Kuan quickly retreated to his door. The surrounding origin forces were also quickly calmed by him. These people were all top-level powerhouses. They had done their research before, so it was easy for them to calm the origin forces. On the other hand, Moon Spirit's control was not good enough. If it was not for her abundant vitality, she might have been blown to death by the origin forces. Fang Ping saw this and heaved a sigh of relief. Forget it. He would continue honing his body and bones first before converting origin forces. If nothing unexpected happened, he might be the one who lasted the longest. Once the others were one step ahead of him, they would definitely not stand by and watch him continue. When that time came, he would try the Shifting Stars ability. Fang Ping did not say a word. He quietly honed his body. Around him, the origin forces were rapidly expanded, converted, absorbed, and forged. His jade bones and golden body were becoming more and more compatible. Previously, he could only be said to be wearing a layer of skin. The attachment to his bones was not as tight. Now his bones and flesh were beginning to gradually fuse, and they were no longer repelling each other. Because the strength of his bones was much stronger than his flesh had always been suppressed by some force. The speed at which his jade bones converted vitality was also increasing. The conversion of origin forces was also speeding up. Fang Ping's gaze was determined. In this round, he wanted to digest all the gains. He wanted to complete the qualitative change in his vitality and complete the conversion of origin forces. He wanted to see if he could make another big improvement. Everyone was improving. There were more and more people who had broken through 8. The Tao tree might even break through 9. In this mystic realm, There might be more than one person who had broken through peak 8 or 9. The Tao Tree, the Spirit Emperor's clone, the Emperor's clone, the clone of an unknown powerhouse who came in with Sherpa. These fellows were all terrifyingly powerful. Fong Ping did not want to help others at the last moment and gain nothing. He could only watch the show. Only those who had broken through 8 were qualified to participate. Thunder rumbled. At this moment, everyone was silently forging their bones and flesh. Some people's flesh exploded. Some people's bones shattered. Fong Ping also made a few mistakes and was blasted into a sorry state by the Origin Forces. On the other side, the cat toyed with the Origin Forces and almost blasted Zhang Hao and the Thunder King to death. However, this cat's control over its power was extremely high. Although the two of them were in a sorry state, there were no fatal injuries. They were constantly recovering and strengthening. A group of opponents gathered at this round, but it ushered in the peace of forging. The powerhouses of the 3 realms all knew one thing. Strengthening oneself was the most important thing. Killing the enemy was second. In a situation where they could not strengthen themselves, only then would they think of ways to destroy the enemy and stop the enemy from becoming stronger. This was the right path. Chapter 1342. The Jade Bones were becoming more and more compatible with his physical body. His chi and blood were also undergoing a qualitative transformation. Fong Ping, on the other hand, decided to use the vitality restoration technique. He released the force from before and turned it into vitality once more, undergoing a qualitative change in his body. 4. 7 million calories vitality. After force restoration, Fong Ping's vitality had reached 7 million calories. His mentality had also reached close to 50,000 hertz. At this moment, his chi and blood were rapidly strengthening, and his mental power was also increasing slightly. Among the 7 million calories of vitality, only a small portion had undergone transformation after the birth of the Jade Bones. But now, it had risen to a shocking level. The Jade Bone and the physical body fused together, and the blood chi flowed more smoothly. 8 million 9 million. Fong Ping's basic vitality was increasing at a rate of 100,000. But soon, with this kind of improvement, some problems also appeared. For example, the Great Tao seemed to have been broken again. This was because his physical body was too strong, and his chi and blood were too strong, suppressing the Great Tao. The saint-level Great Tao was really not enough. 5 million cal. In the blink of an eye, Fong Ping's body trembled slightly. 5 million calories. This time, his physique had proven to the Heavenly King realm in the truest sense. While Li Zhu and the others were cultivating, they were also watching Fong Ping. However, he could not understand Fong Ping. Fong Ping's strength fluctuated between strong and weak. He would convert his force into vitality for a while, then convert it back into vitality for a while. From the looks of it, Fong Ping did not feel any stronger than before. However, they could vaguely feel that Fong Ping was still rapidly becoming stronger. Jade Bones. How would Fong Ping, who had forged Jade Bones, transform? They had no idea what was going on with Fong Ping. If it were them, their chi and blood would also change qualitatively after forging their Jade Bones. However, during the qualitative change, they would begin to unify, and the amplification of the Great Tao would also weaken. However, this was something that could only be obtained after breaking 8. Where was Fong Ping? In the process of his qualitative change, would the amplification of his Great Tao decrease? Also, Fong Ping's Tao collapsed at the drop of a hat. Right now, everyone really did not quite understand his state. 6 million cal. 7 million cal. The refinement process was still going on, and his origin power was erupting non-stop. Fong Ping swept up even more force. At this moment, everyone had formed a small circle, converting the force around them. The circle that Fong Ping swept through was the largest one. Body forging and bones tempering, of course, depended on the strength of the body and bones. In this place, the strength of Fong Ping's bones and flesh was only slightly weaker than Tsang Mao's. However, this cat had already been honed to its limit. There was no need to continue honing now, which made Fong Ping seem stronger. The cat's basic vitality was probably around 8 million calories now. If converted into force, it would be close to 16 million calories. In reality, Fong Ping might not be as strong as the cat. Even if Fong Ping successfully converted all of his vitality later and reached more than 9 million calories, he would still be no match for the cat. Because Fong Ping's mentality was not enough, he could not convert it into an equivalent amount of force. A vitality of 9 million calories would require a mentality of 90,000 hertz to convert into 900 force and 18 million calories vitality. As for Fong Ping, his mentality was only at 50,000 hertz. The cat, on the other hand, had already undergone a qualitative change in its spiritual power. It was frighteningly high. In terms of mentality, Fong Ping was a hindrance. After converting it into origin power, there was a high probability that it wouldn't be as powerful as the ash cat. Fong Ping could not help but admit that humans were not as good as cats. 8 million cal? At this moment, Fong Ping's vitality had reached 8 million calories. Not far away, however, Fong seemed to have reached his limit. Feng's body flickered with light. His flesh and blood were in tatters, but his bones were much stronger than before. At this point, Fong Ping was having a headache. All right, stop fooling around. Among these people, if any of them had reached their limit, they would not let the others continue. As expected, the corners of Feng's mouth curled up slightly. He was very satisfied. Bone honing had a pretty good effect. However, his physique was not too strong, at least it was considered the weakest among the group. Right now, it had reached its limit, peak 9 refinement. It was faintly beginning to transform toward jade bones. According to Fong Ping, that was a 1% degree of honing. Activating jade bone honing meant that Feng's bones had reached the standard of a normal rank 8. This was because rank 8 martial artists who did not shatter their life gate were usually at this standard. Feng was already very satisfied. He was a person who mainly cultivated mentality. His physique had reached the standard of a normal rank 8. When the life gate was shattered, he should be able to forge jade bones. This was much stronger than expected. However, now, since he could not become stronger, he could not let others become stronger. The moment the corners of Feng's mouth curled up, Fong Ping hurriedly shouted, "Hong Yu, stop cultivating. Moon Spirit is about to forge jade bones. Feng is going to cause trouble." Before Feng could say anything, Hong Yu, who was still cultivating, had a slight change in expression. In the next moment, his mentality swept toward Feng. Moon Spirit was indeed about to forge jade bones. She was already close to the jade bone realm. Now that she had absorbed so much vitality, the forging of jade bones was almost complete. Her body was already shining. Foam cursed under his breath. His mentality swept over too. Boom! Their mentalities triggered a big explosion of force. Hong Yu's mentality formed a crystal wall, setting up a barrier around Moon Spirit. Fong Ping did not have this treatment. He was affected by the explosion of force. The surrounding force also exploded instantly. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. "Can't you count me in?" On the other side, Jiang Hao and the Thunder King were already full. At this moment, they had returned to the safe house. Fong Ping was playing with a ball of yarn. No, it was a ball of force. Fong Ping was exhausted. "I'm already in this state. Can't this stupid cat come and protect me? Big cat, cast a wall for me." Fong Ping had no energy left to do this. He could only ask Big Cat for help. When the cat heard this, it tossed the ball of force in its paw away and ran toward Fong Ping. Fong Ping did not care at first. In the end, cat. An angry roar rang through the sky. King Kuan was furious. He was in the middle of cultivating. Suddenly, a ball of force appeared. It was an unbalanced ball of force, triggering an explosion of the force he had absorbed. Boom! A loud cry rang out. The cat that was running toward Fong Ping was stunned. Then it shook its head. "It's not me. I didn't do this." The cat felt a little guilty. It had just thrown it away casually. It did not know that it happened to be thrown toward King Kuan, causing the force to be unbalanced. At this moment, King Kuan's face was covered in dust from the explosion. Blood, and flesh flew everywhere. Some of his bones were broken. He was guarding against others, but he did not guard against the cat. This cat had been playing beside him. Like a stupid cat, it squatted on the ground and played with a ball of yarn. He almost ignored the cat. In the end, he did not expect this stupid cat to suddenly throw a ball of force in before it left. "Cat!" King Kun roared. He was half dead with anger. "Even a cat is bullying me?" Feeling guilty, the cat hurried toward Fong Ping. Fong Ping's head hurt. King Kun was not cultivating anymore. "Big cat, go back. Don't run toward me." Fong Ping was speechless. "I asked you to help me, not to harm me." "King Kun, it's a misunderstanding." Fong Ping wanted to help the cat explain, but King Kun was furious. "Misunderstanding your ancestor. You must be the one who secretly ordered it. I won't forgive you." As soon as he finished speaking, a long sword pierced through the air. Fong Ping felt wronged. "It's really not. If you're unhappy, you can go fight with the cat now. Why are you taking it out on me? The cat is not cultivating now. It can fight with you, but I still need to cultivate." "King Kun, it's a misunderstanding. Don't go too far. If I don't cultivate, don't even think about it." King Kun was furious. Why would he listen to his explanation? As the long sword pierced through the air, he also attacked. His speed was extremely fast, so fast that he flew over the cat's head, but he did not stop. The cat sat on the ground in a daze, hesitating. Should I go or not? The liar asked him to leave. Should he leave? King Kun did not hit him and went to fight the liar. It should have nothing to do with him, right? This was their grudge, not his, right? The cat thought for a while and felt that it was better not to get involved for now. The more people there were, the stronger the explosion, and the stronger the force explosion. It was better to retreat first to prevent the explosion from getting worse. Therefore, in the next moment, the cat turned around and walked toward his safe house. Yes, he walked. This cat was too lazy to run. No one was hitting him anyway. Fong Ping was about to vomit blood, especially when he saw the cat run away with an innocent face. He was depressed. "Stupid cat, this is the enemy you've provoked. You're leaving just like that? Don't you feel guilty at all? Can't you go fight with King Kun?" Although he was depressed, Fong Ping was also furious. He still needed some time to complete the vitality conversion. If he missed this opportunity, he might need another 2 or 3 days. However, he did not have that much time to waste in this place. 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 hours was too much. He still had to convert the force. King Kun, this bastard. How dare he bully him? Fong Ping felt wronged. It was obvious that King Kun was bullying him. The cat threw a ball of yarn. It was the force ball, not him. Why did he hit him? "Fong Kun, don't be so shameless." Fong Ping shouted angrily and threw a punch. In this place, when his vitality blasted out, it was not only his own destructive power, but also a large amount of force. Boom! An earth-shattering roar sounded again. This time, everyone stopped cultivating. The explosion caused an even bigger explosion. On the other side, Li Zhu was also helpless. He looked at them with a gloomy expression. He thought that Fong Ping would be the last one. He thought that he could still cause trouble for Fong Ping before Fong Ping made a move. Unexpectedly, before Fong Ping's side was in chaos, Fong and Hong Yu were in chaos, followed by Hong Kun. And then everyone was in chaos. Li Zhu stopped cultivating. Without a second word, he charged toward Fong Ping. As for the reason, there was no need. Anyway, he would attack Fong Ping if he could. If he could not, he would give up. It was that simple. "You've gone too far." Fong Ping was frustrated. Suddenly, his vitality erupted. This time, except for the small part of Moon Spirit, he unleashed his vitality force. The overflow of vitality force caused a large amount of force to explode in all directions. Boom! This time, the explosion was even more intense. In this place, the weakest one was not Fong, but Li Zhu. This guy had just reached the peak of the golden bones, and he had not started forging his jade bones. This violent explosion was suppressed by Feng's mentality outburst. Li Zhu also unleashed it, but it was difficult for him to block everything. With a bang, the bones in his hand exploded and broke. Li Zhu was also anxious. In this damn place, no one knew if you would hurt yourself more when you attacked others. The force explosions did not stop. At this time, Hong Kuen's attack arrived. Fong Ping judged and gritted his teeth. I'll absorb your strength. He quickly added his vitality and mentality to the force ball that was about to explode. Hong Kuen's attack was comparable to vitality force, while Fong Ping replenished his vitality and mentality. But it was not that simple. Fong Ping did not even analyze how much energy Hong Kuen had before the explosion happened. Creak! Like glass being scratched by metal, the force explosion cut on Fong Ping's skin, causing blood to flow. This time, however, it did not tear his flesh. It was much better than before. Everyone fought in the force ball. Explosions occurred everywhere, and no one gained the upper hand. Soon, Li Zhu was the first to give up and quickly went into his safe house. At this time, Moon Spirit's flesh recovered instantly. With a low growl, she absorbed a large amount of vitality, and her body erupted with a dazzling light. Boom! Vitality skyrocketing. Moon Spirit's forging was successful. This time, her vitality overflowed, causing countless force explosions. Even though Moon Spirit's flesh had just recovered, it exploded instantly. Hong Yu also spat out blood. Seeing this, he shouted, "Moon Spirit, go into the house." Moon Spirit did not waste any time and quickly went into her safe house. As soon as she left, Hong Yu stopped fighting and retreated hurriedly. Seeing this, Fong quickly retreated as well. On the other side, Hong Kuen sneered. He also retreated a few steps and entered his safe house. As for Fong Ping, seeing that these guys had retreated into the safe house and were looking at him, he said helplessly, "Is there a need for that? My vitality conversion is almost complete. It's just a little bit more, just a day or two. Do you guys have to delay me for a day or two? Is there a need for that?" These people were all glaring at Fong Ping. As long as Fong Ping dared to balance the force, they would dare to interfere and cause trouble, blowing up this bastard Fong Ping. Fong Ping had no choice but to quickly return to his safe house. As soon as he returned, everyone looked at each other. Fong Ping sighed. "Look, I haven't broken through yet. I think to break through this level, I might need to balance all the force in a large area before I can save them. Now that you guys are stopping me, I'll stop you too. Is there a need for that? Let me complete the conversion quickly, and I'll break through with you guys. How about that?" Li Zhu sneered. "Even if you don't break through, we'll still delay you for a few days. Don't break through the level. We're not in a hurry. This kid is getting stronger too fast. 2 days of delay is 2 days of delay. In the same 2 days, if their strength did not change and they did not break through a level, Fong Ping might become a lot stronger. People like you just can't stand to see others doing well." Fong Ping cursed and quickly went out of the safe house. He immediately performed the force conversion and continued the honing. Li Zhu and the others walked out of the safe house one after another, attacking Fong Ping. Boom! Another explosion sounded. Fong Ping retreated again. Everyone hurriedly retreated too. If they did not retreat, the other forces would explode again. As soon as they retreated, Fong Ping went out of the safe house again. At this time, Fong said coldly, "One by one, come out of the safe house. This guy has done it more times than us. If he wants to waste our chances of leaving the safe house, do it one by one. Don't come out all at once. Let's see who can last longer." As soon as she said that, everyone had a tacit understanding. At this time, Li Zhu was the first to walk out. He threw a punch and retreated immediately without looking. This time, Fong Ping did not leave. Instead, he looked at his energy cluster and quickly began to analyze it. Li Zhu only wanted to explode the force cluster. The explosion of this move was not too strong. Fong Ping quickly analyzed it. The moment the fist force landed, Fong Ping quickly replenished other forces. The fist shadow drilled into the force cluster. Everyone thought that there would be an explosion, but they did not hear any sound. At this moment, everyone looked at Fong Ping. Fong Ping was pleased with himself. He laughed and said, "Thank you. The force is richer." Again, As he spoke, he quickly honed. Seeing this, Li Zhu's expression changed slightly. Hong Kun shouted, "This guy integrated your force into the force." Damn it. Fong Ping was getting stronger and stronger. Li Zhu's attack earlier was not considered powerful, but it definitely had the strength of a saint. What did this mean? It meant that in the future, when a saint bombarded Fong Ping could use today's method to convert the force into the force he needed. The others would only become his energy provider. This guy adapted too quickly. Hong Yi did not say a word. Instead, he stretched one hand out of the safe house and slapped at Fong Ping. Fong Ping took a look and analyzed it quickly. However, it was a little cryptic. He hurriedly retreated into the safe house. Boom! There was another explosion. Fong Ping did not care. When Hong Kun slapped the explosion, he walked out again and continued to absorb the force to hone his body. 5 million calories. 6 million calories. Fong Ping's vitality was still increasing rapidly. As for him, he was now trying to analyze the force of breaking 8, thinking of a way to integrate the force and turn himself into a roly-poly doll. No matter how you hit me, I will not fall. However, breaking 8 was too powerful. If it was that easy, Fong Ping would have broken 8 and become invincible long ago. After trying a few times, he was almost blown to death. Fong Ping could only choose a guerrilla strategy, absorbing bit by bit and honing bit by bit. The others did not dare to stay outside. If they did, Fong Ping would blast them too. Far away, the old cat was about to doze off as it watched. These guys were so bored. Fong Ping went in and out. The others did the same. Here and there, it made the cat dizzy. Fong Ping was not in a hurry. He accompanied them slowly. Although the efficiency was much lower this way, these people's continuous attacks also made him have a deeper understanding of the force of breaking 8. If these guys dared to do this again, even if they did it a few hundred times, he was confident that he could analyze their force composition. If he met them in the future, they would be disgusted. His vitality was transforming bit by bit. His flesh was also beginning to glow with a jade color. Seeing that the transformation was about to be completed, Fong Ping's heart skipped a beat. The membrane behind him seemed to be much weaker. When he just passed through it, he felt like it would shatter in the next moment. Once it shattered, the safe house would be gone. Those breaking 8s would not let him go. Fong Ping stopped going in and out. He entered the safe house and began to quickly convert the remaining force. Seeing that he was no longer going in and out, the others roughly guessed that Fong Ping must have reached his limit. If this went on, he might be eliminated if he destroyed the safe house. Fong Ping did not care about this. Forget it. He would delay here for a while and convert on his own. After about 7 or 8 hours, everyone was maintaining silence. Li Zhu and the others wanted to go out and take a look. In the end, there was still a cat. The cat was also throwing force clusters, making it difficult for everyone to think of a way to pass. Wealth, 230 billion points vitality, 9. 2 million calories, 9. 2 million mentality, 51,000 hertz, 51,000 hertz, jade bones, 99% with vitality qualitative change, source world, 971 meters combat techniques, god-slaying saber techniques, plus 15%, origin path, plus 80%, pseudo path, strength control, 98% limit outburst, 175812000 cal /179400000 cal. It had been a day since everyone had entered this stage. At this moment, Fong Ping's body trembled slightly. He had completed the vitality qualitative change at the Jade Bone stage. 2 million calories. This was his current limit. His basic vitality was frighteningly high. However, the amplification of origin path had been reduced to 80%. The decrease was also frightening. Even so, Fong Ping's limit outburst had still reached about 18 million calories. It had not reached the stage of breaking 8. However, Fong Ping knew that this was not his limit. He could still do one more thing, convert it into force. But convert it into force. If he wanted to convert it quickly now, he had to achieve a balance between his vitality and mentality. Fong Ping calculated in his heart. 9. 2 million calories vitality and 51,000 hertz mentality could be converted into 7. 15 million calories vitality and 71,500 hertz mentality. In that case, that would be 715 force. One force was equivalent to a vitality of 20,000 calories. In that case, after the balance, he could convert it to a vitality of 14. 3 million calories. This was his limit. The 15% amplification of God-slaying saber techniques would not change. He was afraid that if the Tao collapsed completely, he would be at a disadvantage. Without the amplification of origin, with only God-slaying saber techniques, his limit would only be 16 million calories, slightly less than now. However, once the amplification of origin was used, he could still maintain a little. Even if it was only a 10% increase, he would not be at a disadvantage. Fong Ping licked his lips. Could he still hold on with this saint-level Tao? If he could hold on and maintain an increase of more than 25%, he could break 8. He had officially reached the limit of 20 million calories. Fong Ping took a deep breath. He had gained too much in this mystic realm. When he entered, it was barely the limit of 10 million. Even so, it was still because of the high increase. Now, as long as he could maintain an increase of more than 25% in the origin, he could break 8. Can the saint-level Tao hold on? This was the only thing Fong Ping needed to consider now. As long as he did not collapse completely, he should actually convert it into force. Fong Ping fell into deep thought. Why did he have to do this? Just do it. Anyway, even if he collapsed completely, with the amplification of God-slaying saber techniques, he would still have 16 million calories of outburst. Compared to now, there was a difference of about 2 million. It was a lot more, but it was not much. Fong Ping did not care about Li Zhu and the others. His heart filled with determination. When he converted to force, the amplification of origin could still be maintained at more than 25%. Just wait and see. At that time, he would be considered to have just broken 8. There was not much difference between him and Li Zhu. In addition, his physique was stronger. He could not hammer Li Zhu to death. Thinking of this, Fong Ping grinned at Li Zhu, who was opposite him. Li Zhu could not help but frown, feeling a little uneasy. Suddenly, he shouted, "Fong Ping, don't tell me you're going to break 8?" He dared not believe it. Motherf asterisk her, you just broke 6 a few days ago, and now you're breaking 8? Otherwise, why are you looking at me like that? Fong Ping grinned, shaking his head. No way, how is that possible? I've only broken 7. How can I break 8? You have too many tricks up your sleeves. Are you trying to push me to the opposite side of everyone? Li Zhu, don't purposely create public opinion for me. I know exactly what you're up to. Fong Ping laughed for a while. His laughter made Li Zhu shudder. Something was wrong. This bastard was not really going to break 8. Was he? He was in disbelief. He looked at Hong Yu and the rest, his expression extremely gloomy. Fong Ping breaking 8. They could imagine how arrogant this bastard would be, because he had the ability to compete with them. If he met them one-on-one, he might even be able to defeat powerhouses of the same rank. This was Fong Ping's usual style. They looked at each other, their expression strange. How was that possible? If that was really the case, then it was too fast. This bastard Fong Ping, how many benefits did he get from these trials? Hong Kuan could not help but let out a low humph. He said coldly, I didn't get any benefits from the few trials I went to. I'm afraid this bastard got rid of all of them. The more he thought about it, the more hatred he felt. There were no benefits from the Batian Emperor. There were no benefits from the Earthly Emperor. There were also limited benefits from the West Emperor. His mentality increased a little. It was the same with the North Emperor. He did not get anything. Hong Kuan was furious. He was afraid that Fong Ping had gotten all of them. Otherwise, he would not have gotten no benefits at all, right? They looked at Fong Ping, their gazes solemn. Fong Ping was smiling like a flower. Was he really going to break 8? As for Fong Ping, he looked embarrassed. I want to keep a low profile. I want to keep a low profile. I haven't broken 8 yet. Why are you guys looking at me like that? Seriously. Chapter 1343. Seeing everyone looking at him, Fong Ping explained again. If I haven't broken 8, how can it be so fast? It's only been a few days. I just think I might have found a way to break through. Don't listen to Li Zhu. None of them said a word. They could not beat Fong Ping now. They could not tell if he was telling the truth or lying. They looked at each other and sighed. If he had broken 8, it would be fine. Even if Fong Ping had broken 8, he might not be able to do anything to them. Besides, they had 4 powerhouses who had broken 8. If Fong Ping dared to come out and not run, they would not kill him. They were afraid that this guy's allies would come. Heavenly King, Subduing King, and God Creation Envoy were powerhouses who had broken 2 gates. Chaos, Stonebreaker, and almost broke 8. Heavenly Hound, that was also a breakthrough 8. Thinking about it, everyone had a headache. If Fong Ping, this madman, did not break 8, the others might not fight them to the end. But if this madman broke 8, with him charging at the front, it would be troublesome. The 4 of them looked at each other for a while, thinking a lot. Maybe it was time to contact the Demon Emperor. The Demon Emperor might have broken 2 gates too. Also, they did not know if King Qian had broken 8. If he had, they would have 6 powerhouses who had broken 8 on their side. At this moment, everyone subconsciously thought that they were in the same group. It could not be helped. If they were not in the same group, they might be killed separately by Fong Ping and the others. They became more serious. Hong Kuan did not speak anymore. The most important thing now was to break 2 gates. He was not far from forging jade bones and breaking the life gate. After this time, he might succeed in forging. He was about to break through the 2nd gate and confer the title of Old Antique on him. Hong Yu could not figure it out. He tried to make the Palm Emperor and Envoy break 8 as well. Only then would they have the strength to fight against the humans. The more he thought about it, the sadder he felt. Once upon a time, the humans could be destroyed at will. Now, all forces in the 3 realms had to join forces to resist and not be destroyed by the humans. Dao Tree, at this moment, Li Zhu thought about more. Maybe the Dao Tree could not be killed, or use the Dao Tree to weaken the human strength. Even if they could not kill Fong Ping, it would be best if Shi Pe Luan and the others died in the chaos, lest they became the humans' helpers. Previously, when they found out about the existence of the Dao Tree, they wanted to join forces with Fong Ping and the others. Actually, they did not have to worry too much. But now, Li Zhu had changed his mind. Fong Ping was too much of a freak. When Fong Ping entered this time, he was also in a period of multiple metamorphoses similar to Tsang Mao's. Now, these metamorphoses were gradually completed. Like Tsang Mao, he was actually just short of an origin metamorphosis. If they metamorphosed again, the man and the cat probably wouldn't be able to break through to the 9th gate. However, it was very likely that they would surpass the 2nd gate. Keep a low profile. Even if I really break 8, I have to pretend to be weak. Fong Ping made up his mind and began to convert his force. He wanted to be a low-key expert, just as Fong Ping began to convert. The outside world. Earth. Old Zhang was finally going to war. Yes, it was time to go to battle. It had been almost 2 days since Heavenly King Zhen and the others had left. They had finally settled some things. The main army had already been recruited. This time, they were going to sweep through the 3 realms. The moment they entered the catacombs, Old Zhang smiled and said, "The 3 realms are better now. The powerhouses have all run away, and there's only one Palm Emperor Envoy left. He doesn't dare to fight with us now." The powerhouses of the 3 realms were almost all gone. Now, the human race was strong and well-trained. He, Dragon Transformation, and Lindsay were all at the Heavenly King realm. The reason why they were delayed for a day was actually related to Old Wang. Originally, they had already gone to war. Old Wang suddenly had a breakthrough, so he had to stop for a day. Old Wang finally completed a transformation, and his strength reached the Heavenly King realm. At this moment, Old Wang frowned. He thought for a while and said, "It's only been less than 2 days. But Fong Ping killed Heavenly King Yi previously. Don't tell me that guy has reached the peak of breaking 7 now?" Who was Heavenly King Yi? A top-notch powerhouse who had broken 7. In the end, he was killed. His origin shook and the outside world could feel it. It had only been less than 2 days. Could it be that Fong Ping had become more powerful? Old Wang felt that he should be in despair. He was in a hurry and did not even care about fighting Heavenly Emperor. He fused what needed to be fused and learned what needed to be learned. Anyway, he did not care about the future. It was all for his strength. In addition, Dong Wang helped him once and found many opportunities overseas. Today, he had also proven his Heavenly King realm. But Fong Ping killed Heavenly King Yi. Was this his own strength, or did he join forces with others? Old Zhang also sighed and shook his head. Who knows? If this guy comes back this time, he might surpass me and rank high among the Breaking Seven. Old Zhang ranked the lowest among the Breaking Seven. If Fong Ping really came back, he might really surpass him. Old Wang was also helpless. There was no way to compare. This was something that could not be helped. Both of them were discussing these. Fong Ping was also thinking about a problem while converting his force. Shi Po, King Wan, and King Qian might all enter the Breaking Eight after this. Li Zhu has already entered the Breaking Eight, and I killed Heavenly King Yi. Fong Ping was thinking now. How many more were there in the Breaking Seven? Palm Seal User, Moon Spirit, Old Zhang? Only 3? Fong Ping sighed. If he succeeded in Breaking 8, the stupid cat might not be ranked by others. In that case, Old Zhang directly entered the top 3 from the last place in Breaking 7? How fortunate! Fong Ping sighed. Look, he entered the top 3 from the last place without doing anything. Although it was very likely that he would still be in the last place, he was still in the top 3, right? There were many people in the 3 realms who had broken 7 previously. But now some died, and some broke through. Especially this mystic realm, Fong Ping actually felt a little pity. Old Zhang and the others did not come. If they came, Old Zhang might still have a chance to go further. Old Wang too. Old Yao did not come either. Iron Head, this idiot, was almost reaching the Heavenly King realm. He really felt sorry for the others. I still have to collect more vitality. I know all the cultivation methods, but I have to collect some other good stuff. Seed. Fong Ping thought of the silkworm baby again. He did not know who the seed would belong to this time. This seed was most likely a projection. It could create such a mystic realm, or even a bigger heavenly realm. Even if it was a projection, it was terrifying. Fong Ping could not even guess how much vitality the seed had. At least the vitality they consumed now was projected by the seed. After going out this time, the 3 realms will probably be reshuffled again. Fong Ping glanced at the few people opposite him. Hong Kuan and Feng were currently cultivating with their eyes closed, as if preparing to break through the second gate. Li Zhu and Hong Yu, on the other hand, continued to test the force, probably thinking of a way to break through. As for Moon Spirit, Jiang Hao, and the Thunder King, they had just gained a lot and were now digesting everything. Fong Ping looked at the cat again, his face darkening again. What was this stupid cat doing again? Is it taking inventory of its warehouse? At this moment, in the house where the cat was, there were many things in front of Big Cat. Fong Ping was speechless. There was everything. Food, drink, play, and many toys. There were even clothes that the cat wore. It was probably made by Fong Yuan. Did Big Cat have nothing better to do, so it decided to check its assets? Sensing Fong Ping's gaze, the cat bared its teeth and smiled, then kept the items. However, it was divided into 2 piles. Big Cat felt that it was time to leave since he had reached level 11. Before he left, he wondered if he could see Second Cat and Third Cat. If he saw them, he would give them some delicious food and drinks. He had to go back. When he went back, he would ask Chubby Face to buy more. Second Cat and Third Cat were his little brothers. He had to take care of them. At this moment, the cat had long forgotten some things. According to the time here, these 2 cats had lived here for at least 100,000 years. They were much older than him. Moreover, the 2 cats here might not be sleeping. Compared to them, the cat was a child. Third Cat is so fat. Give me some benefits. Give it less. Second Cat still owes me 3 fish. Give me 3 fish. Then I can give it delicious food. The cat muttered for a while, calculating how much was appropriate. Although he had saved a lot of things, if the 3 realms were to be destroyed one day, he had to prepare something for his future meals. He could not give too much. The cat was checking his collection. Fong Ping, on the other hand, was trembling in fear. As he converted his force, the Tao continued to collapse. Fong Ping was a little scared. Don't collapse. A 25% increase. At least leave more than 250 meters for me. However, the Tao that was tens of thousands of meters before was now collapsing very quickly. A long time ago, it had collapsed less than 1,000 meters. The lollipop stick was getting shorter and shorter. Now, Fong Ping felt that if he looked at the brain nucleus, it might not be a lollipop, but a round apple. His Tao was the apple's little tail. Stop collapsing. Fong Ping shouted in his heart, but he did not stop the conversion process of the force. He balanced his vitality and mentality and began to convert them with the vitality revenue return technique. Combined with the vitality and the unification fusion force, the conversion speed was also extremely fast. In the past, Fong Ping could also convert force, but it was not stable. Since learning the vitality revenue return technique, his force conversion was extremely stable. It had to be said that Emperor Nan's vitality revenue return technique was still very helpful to Fong Ping. 1 hour, 2 hours, the time since Fong Ping entered this place was getting longer and longer. As for Li Zhu and the others, they were now trying to break through. The cat also stopped messing around. They divided the work and began to try to convert the entire area's force. They no longer waited for the force to explode. Instead, as soon as they got out, they went straight to the square. When those people were divided into 3 groups of force eruptions, they began to add their force to balance. However, such a large-scale force eruption was a little strenuous even for a few people working together. If they were not careful, they would be blown up. Emperor Dongwang here seemed to only know how to say a few words. He had been watching everyone balance their force. He did not care about them, nor did he communicate with them. After they tried a few times, Fong Ping's snow-white skin suddenly turned gray. The gray color flashed and disappeared from head to toe. Immediately after, Fong Ping returned to his original state. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. It was done. However, the essence could sense that the great Tao was so short that he wanted to cry, but no tears would come. In fact, he didn't even dare to try to sense exactly how long it was. Was it 250 meters? It was hard to say. The tens of thousands of meters of Tao collapsed like this, and it looked a little unstable. This gave Fong Ping a headache. It seemed that only the Heavenly King realm's Tao was suitable. I have to kill a Heavenly King and deprive him of his Tao. It's hard to preserve the Tao, even if I kill the one who broke 7. There's hope for the one who broke 6. Before entering the last stage, I have to kill one first. Stripping away the Tao for storage will be of great use at critical moments. Other than those beginner martial artists, there aren't many who broke 6, right? Fong Ping thought for a while. Those who broke 6 were Tianji, Sheng Hong, Lu Shan, Yin Fei, and King General. The other few saints might break through to the Heavenly King realm. Yuan Gang, Shui Li, Tianji, the governor, and unquestionable swords master, Gong Yuzi, all had hopes of breaking through to the Heavenly King realm. There were also the other 2 saints under the emperor and a few others among the 36 saints. They all had hopes. However, many of them should have died. Tianji and Sheng Hong could break through the Beast Emperor stage. They must have killed the saints. He did not know if Tianji and Yu Ping were dead or not. When he thought of Tianji, Fong Ping suddenly thought of someone in surprise. Celestial fate. It was strange. Fong Ping suddenly wanted to laugh. He actually forgot that there was still a broken 6 Heavenly King. He really forgot. Heaven's fate had no sense of existence now. This guy looked like he had seen a ghost when he saw him. Fong Ping had never seen him fight before. Not thinking about it anymore, Fong Ping looked at the data again. He did not want to look at it, but he had to. It must be 250 meters long. There must be. Fong Ping comforted himself for a while. There must be. Although he did not investigate, at a glance, he felt that there was. Wealth, 230 billion points vitality, 0 calories 7. 15 million mentality, 0 hertz, 71,500 hertz, force, 715 raw, 14. 3 million calories, jade bones, 99%, with vitality qualitative change, source world, 971 meters combat techniques, god-slaying sword techniques, plus 15%, origin path, plus 30%, pseudopath strength control, 98% limit outburst, 203203000 cal, /20735000 cal, awesome. Fong Ping screamed in his heart. Not bad. He still kept 300 meters of Dao and increased it by 30%. In this way, his limit was as high as 20 million calories and above. Moreover, his strength control was also extremely high. 98%. It seemed like it was like this before, but now, this feeling of having all the power in my hands was even stronger. I've broken 8. 20 million calories could probably break 8. Fong Ping's limit outburst data showed that it had already exceeded 20 million calories. In addition, Fong Ping still had the weapon enhancement and the Jade Bones enhancement. Breaking 8, that was definitely a sure thing. His physique foundation was even more terrifying at this time. 14. 3 million calories vitality. What did this mean? Even among the beginner martial artists, with the combat techniques enhancement, he could pass as a powerhouse who had broken 7. Among the beginner martial artists, if he did not rely on origin, probably only Sky Arm, Underworld God, and a few others who had broken 8 could defeat him. Back then, Emperor Batian did not use origin and went to Chua mainland. In the end, he was defeated. And now my foundation might have reached the level of Emperor Batian's extreme path back then. Fong Ping sighed in his heart. Although there was still some origin enhancement, it made his breakthrough to 8 a little unstable. But he had indeed broken 8. This short Dao might not be able to support him in battle for a long time, but he was already prepared to capture and kill a Heavenly King who had broken 6. At that time, if he used Heavenly King Dao at the crucial moment, it might be even more terrifying. If the Heavenly King Dao can be maintained for 1,000 meters, that would be a 100% enhancement. The limit is more than 30 million calories. At this moment, Fong Ping was determined to kill a Heavenly King who had broken 6, and the kind that could kill quickly. If his enhancement was 100%, reaching 30 million calories, then he would be a powerhouse who had broken 2. And this might be his winning talisman this time. Here, no one dared to believe that Fong Ping, who had just broken 7 previously, could have the standard of breaking 2 in the blink of an eye. Not to mention the others. Even Fong Ping did not dare to believe it. This time, the rewards were really too great. Now, he actually still had a chance to have a qualitative change. Of course, this time, he might not have the chance to succeed. Who knew where that bastard King Jin had gone? King Kuan did not use the Heavenly King Seal in the previous fight, which meant that the Heavenly King Seal was not in his hands. Then, it was most likely still with King Jin, bastard. I passed 11 stages and still didn't meet you. Coincidentally, didn't you break 6? You're still at peak 6, and your Dao is more stable. You better not meet me, or else. I'll take both the Heavenly King Seal and the Dao. Killing King Jin was the best deal for them. Actually, he could not kill others at the same time. Fong Ping was looking forward to it. Should I just wait here and leave after King Jin arrives? Kill King Jin. As long as he killed him, all of Fong Ping's goals this time would be achieved. As for the last seed, he did not think about it now. Many people who had broken 9 were fighting for it. Moreover, Fong Ping was not sure if there would be an emperor at the last moment. Whoever obtained the seed might become the emperor's target. The powerhouses of the 3 realms were all tempted by the seed. This thing was actually not easy to obtain. A broken 8. Fong Ping's heart was filled with emotions. In 3 years, I reached the stage of breaking 8. Who would dare to believe it? I still have to make something else, Fong Ping thought for a while. Maybe now was a good time to make a clone. Moon Spirit was half jade before. Fong Ping gave her a lot of life force, but there was still some left. Out of the 600 small fish, he used about 400 to forge his jade bones and flesh. As for Moon Spirit, she used about 100. Fong Ping still had about 70 to 80 left. It should be enough to forge a clone. A small fish was equivalent to the life force of a saint-level powerhouse. About 70 to 80 fish was actually equivalent to a powerhouse who had broken 8. However, the prerequisite was that this powerhouse had not successfully forged his jade bones. Fong Ping glanced at the few people who were still working hard. He was too lazy to bother with them. He was not in a hurry anymore. He wanted them to break through and wait for King Jin to come. That fellow had not appeared yet. It was probably because he kept missing Fong Ping. That meant that King Jin had broken through many stages. He might reach Dong Wang very soon. Not far away. On the plaza, Li Zhu and the others had been paying attention to Fong Ping. At this moment, Li Zhu transmitted his voice. Fong Ping is suddenly smiling brightly. Did he gain something? Fong couldn't help but ask, can he really break through 8 stages? I have cultivated for tens of thousands of years. From beginner martial arts until now, I have only broken through 8 stages. It's already difficult for me to break through 2 stages. How can Fong Ping break through 8 stages so quickly? Jealousy. He was really jealous. His tens of thousands of years couldn't compare to Fong Ping's achievements in a few years. He even wanted to die. Moreover, Fong Ping cheated him of his heaven sealing technique. On the other side, Fong Ping seemed to have thought of something. He suddenly said, "Old Fong, does your heaven sealing technique mean that as long as your mentality is stronger than others, you can seal their origin?" What a pain! Hong Yu and the others looked at Fong strangely. You even taught him the heaven sealing technique? Are you crazy? King Kuan snorted. Idiot! Needless to say, he was tricked. Just as they finished scolding, Fong Ping asked curiously, "Everyone, can you tell me the strength of your mentality? Although I can sense it, it's not very specific. Tell me so I can decide if I want to cultivate it or not. Otherwise, if it doesn't work on you, it'll be useless for me to cultivate it. I don't have Old Feng's hobby of targeting the weak. I like to fight the strong." Everyone was tired. Li Zhu glanced at him and frowned. Fong Ping, you have always been on the path of tempering your bones and vitality. Your mentality isn't very strong. It's useless even if you cultivate it. TSK. Fong Ping sneered. You make it sound like you are strong. Is your mentality at 100,000 hertz? Li Zhu said nothing. He could not be bothered with him. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and said, "Those who have broken through 6 usually have at least 50,000 hertz. Those who have broken through 7 should have about 70,000 hertz, right? Those who have broken through 8 are probably close to 100,000 hertz. Those who have broken through the mentality door should have gone through a qualitative change, which is equivalent to 200,000 hertz. In other words, powerhouses who have broken through 8 mentality powerhouses have a mentality of 200,000 hertz, which is equivalent to 20 million calories vitality of the vitality path. In that case, Hong Yu and Old Feng have gone through a qualitative change. The heaven sealing technique is useless against them. As for Li Zhu, you have only broken through 8. You haven't broken through the door yet, which means your mentality is only at the level of 7. In that case, it should be around 80,000 to 90,000 hertz. Fong Ping was a little depressed. He was too strong. Actually, Fong Ping had gone through a qualitative change once too. However, this cat could not break through. Although its mentality was strong, this cat did not like to use it for anything. There were no powerhouses who specialized in mentality who knew how to use it. Therefore, even if Fong Ping's mentality was strong, it could not be compared to those who had broken through 8. If Fong Ping learned the heaven sealing technique, Fong Ping suddenly looked at Fong Ping. If this cat learned it, then it could really seal some of those who had broken through 8. At least, it could seal those who had not broken through the mentality door. As for himself, his mentality was just a little over 70,000 hertz. He could seal those who had broken through 6, but it would be difficult for him to break through 7. That's good too. I should learn it. The seal's Tao of breaking through 6 is easier to kill. It's easier to strip Taos. Fong Ping still decided to learn it. This cultivation method was not bad. It was very useful against those heavenly kings who had broken through 6. Previously, when this fellow was dealing with the patrol, he had sealed a few heavenly kings who had broken through 6 at once. At this time, Fong Ping began to learn the heaven sealing technique while forging his clone in the source world. After learning this technique, When he encountered those who had broken through 6 in the future, he would seal them directly and kill them instantly. This would also prevent these fellows from bragging to him. Fong Ping went into cultivation once again. Fong and the others looked at each other. Very quickly, Li Zhu cursed in a low voice. No one knew who he was cursing. That idiot Fong actually threw away his heaven-sealing technique. If Fong Ping learned it, he felt that Fong Ping's mentality would definitely not be lower than 50,000 hertz. In the future, martial artists who were below the Heavenly Court's Heavenly King level would better run away immediately when they saw him. In the past, he would have to chase after you to kill you. Now, he could just seal you directly. There was no need to chase after you. Chapter 1344. Fong Ping forged his avatar in the origin world. A doppelganger made entirely of life force gradually took shape. Fong Ping began to drip blood. Droplets of blood landed on the avatar, making the avatar more agile. At this moment, Fong Ping was only forging a clone prototype. If he really wanted to forge a doppelganger that could pass off as real, he would have to cut off his own mental power, or even his brain. However, Fong Ping could not allow his strength to be affected now. He was only creating a model for now. After forging the avatar, Fong Ping began to learn Seal's sealing technique. One had to admit that Fong was quite talented. If he didn't have the ability, he wouldn't have broken through 8. So that's how it is. Before this, Fong Ping felt that sealing other people's Daos was just a little more origin chi. He just had to block other people's Daos directly. At this moment, however, Fong Ping knew that he had underestimated the situation. If it was that easy, it wouldn't be considered Feng's unique secret technique. Cast the wall, find a connection point. In order to create a wall of origin energy, one had to make sure that the wall wouldn't collapse or collapse. It had to be seamless, completely blocking the connection of the other party's origin Great Tao. This was very difficult. As for the origin sealing technique, it was split into 2 parts. The first was to use one's origin chi to forge a seamless wall, an impenetrable defense. It would not be easily broken by the opponent. Otherwise, the so-called seal would become a joke. Forging one's own origin wall was an extremely important aspect of the heaven sealing art. The second point was to block the other party's path. Everyone's Tao was different in width and height. How could the wall you forged be the most compatible with the other party's Tao and become a door that completely blocked the other party's Tao? This was something that was extremely difficult to judge. As for the heaven sealing art, one of its special characteristics was to quickly outline the embryonic form of the other party's Great Tao door and find the supporting point of the other party's Great Tao door so that he could create that wall. It sounded simple, but it was actually extremely difficult. The reason why one needed to have a powerful mind power was so that they could invade the other party's source world and investigate its structure. Fong Ping pondered for a while. The second point was not too difficult for him. He could break into the other party's origin directly to see what the other party's portal looked like. However, the first point, which was to cast a wall, was quite difficult for a beginner. Of course, without the second point, it was actually extremely simple. The sky sealing art is quite suitable for me. Wall forging. Origin chi will no longer be dispersed, but will instead be used to forge walls. This is a unique secret art. Fong Ping's gaze flickered slightly. Actually, the sealing sky technique could only seal fellows who were weaker than him. Although Fong Ping thought it was not bad, he did not think it was too awesome. But the wall forging technique with origin energy was truly formidable. His origin energy was overflowing with a lot of energy, or rather, everyone's origin energy was as soft as cotton candy. If this origin chi was used to forge walls and bricks, I might be able to build a city in the source world. In fact, I might as well build a wall of Genesis chi around cities like Demonic City and Yang City. This way, the other party will not be able to destroy my source world if a battle breaks out in the source world. Fong Ping, who did not have a great Tao of origin, still had his source world. This was especially true now that his brain had fused with the source world, so he needed to protect it even more. Otherwise, if the source world were to shatter, his brain core would also shatter. To me, the sealing of the heavens isn't important. What's important is the forging of origin energy or a compression technique. In Fong Ping's opinion, compressing origin energy into a wall was far better than sealing. He could even use origin energy to forge and compress his source world entirely. This way, even without origin soil, his source world would be more realistic. That's not right, Fong Ping murmured. Origin soil, origin energy compression. At this moment, he suddenly thought of something. Was the origin soil really unrelated to origin energy? That couldn't be right. Origin energy compression, could it be compressed into origin soil? At the thought of this, Fong Ping hurriedly raised his head and looked at Fong, shouting, "Old Fong, don't be so busy." Boom! The sound of an explosion was heard. Fong was a little distracted by his shouting and made a mistake in filling in the air, triggering an explosion instantly. At this moment, Hong Yu and the rest almost cursed out loud, fleeing toward their own safe houses. Bastard! Feng's mistake led to a complete collapse. The origin energy in other places was collapsing rapidly. Feng also fled quickly, his expression dark. In the blink of an eye, he went into his safe house and looked at Fong Ping opposite him. His expression was frighteningly ugly. Fong Ping shrugged. "I was just shouting. You're the one who can't comprehend it, and now you're blaming me? Old Fong, shut up. Don't be impatient. It's not good to be impatient." Fong Ping laughed. "Let me ask you a question. The key point of your ceiling sky technique is the technique of compressing origin energy. I'm thinking about a question. When origin energy is compressed to an extreme, can it be compressed into origin soil?" Fong wanted to scold him, but at this moment, he frowned slightly. When it came to these secret techniques, sometimes it was difficult to discuss with others. However, there was a limit to one person's strength. Often, some secret techniques would have major problems. Feng was actually quite satisfied with his ceiling sky technique. However, the ceiling sky technique could not be used against stronger opponents. This made him feel a little helpless. At this moment, when he heard Fong Ping discussing the ceiling sky technique with him, Feng's eyes flickered. He said in a low voice, "Theoretically, it's possible. The ceiling sky technique compresses origin energy, which is a kind of solidification. As for origin soil, it's actually some ownerless origin energy. After a long time, it gathers, solidifies, stabilizes, and forms origin soil. As for substances like origin water, they are essentially origin energy. However, because of the different environments, different places, and some differences in compression ratio, in the end, they form different forms of origin objects." After thinking for a while, Fong continued, "Just like what you humans have researched, the composition of all things has some common elements. As for origin objects, their common element is origin energy. Theoretically, it's possible?" Fong Ping asked in surprise. "Have you not succeeded in compressing it before?" Fong frowned. After thinking for a while, he said, "First, we need to use origin energy. Everyone will not produce too much origin energy, but there are too many places where it is needed. Solidify Tao, open up Tao, amplify origin, solidify origin world. All these require the use of origin energy. Therefore, origin energy is not unlimited. You cannot use as much as you want. Second, compression requires a lot of origin energy and time, as well as your control of origin. Let's talk about compressing origin soil. According to my speculation, perhaps only myriad clouds' origin energy can be compressed into a small piece of origin soil. There are many difficulties in this. If you compress it too much, if you don't control it well, the origin energy will explode during the compression process." Feng shook his head. "Myriad clouds' origin energy is enough to blow up your origin world. A self-destruct bomb." Fong Ping said suddenly, "This is good stuff. Old Feng, don't spread this secret technique around." Fong Ping widened his eyes. "Are you stupid? If we can blow up our own, of course we can blow up others too. This compression technique of yours is very advanced. Please don't spread it around. It's fine if I learn it, but those who don't follow the right path will learn it. Think about it. When you're fighting with someone else's origin, if you put dozens of bombs of compressed origin energy on them, F***, won't you blow them up in an instant? The surroundings were eerily quiet. It was so eerie that it was frightening. Hong Yu and the rest looked at Feng faintly. You, F***CK, your ancestors. You open up a new way of thinking for Feng Ping. You're done for. The few of them wanted to kill Feng. The corner of Feng's mouth twitched. After thinking for a while, he said, "It's too unstable. Actually, I've tried it before. It's already extremely difficult to compress myriad clouds' origin energy into one portion. Even if it explodes at this level, the effect will be limited. If you go any lower, you might not even be able to control it. Before you can send it to the enemy's origin world, you'll be blown up." Feng Ping scolded, "Aren't you stupid? You should stabilize your own origin world and use this compression technique to do so. This way, you can actually entice others to fight in your origin world. If you blow it up directly, the others will die and you'll be heavily injured. Actually, it's still worth it. We can't fight with Feng Ping's origin in the future." At this moment, the few of them had the same thought. This lunatic would most likely do it. Lunatic. Once he stabilized his own origin world and they went in, he would release these self-destruct bombs. They would be blown up, and he would be blown up. Of course, it would be a loss if they died. Feng was deep in thought, but he still said in a low voice, "The consumption is too high. This is not a simple consumption. For us, origin energy is not unlimited. I have it." Feng's heart twitched. Mother Asterisker, what you said made sense. This fellow seemed to be able to create it. He was done for. Even if his mentality was strong and could invade this fellow's origin world, it was better not to go in the future. Be careful of being blown up. What was this? Was he shooting himself in the foot? Feng was helpless. It was fine if the other party did not learn it before. Now that he had learned it, would he still dare to seal Feng Ping's origin? Moreover, this fellow's situation was very special. Even if he sealed it, he suspected that he would not be able to seal it. He had to be careful of being blown up by him. Feng had opened up a new train of thought and a new battle strategy for Feng Ping. His origin world was powerful, but it was not too powerful. If powerhouses came and invaded it, even if Feng Ping could chase them away, he would still be heavily injured. Now, Feng Ping muttered, "Yes, I've modified my own origin world. Like a city, I've built origin walls, origin earth, origin sky, then I'll make some origin bombs. Whoever comes, I'll kill them all." Feng Ping thought for a while and said, "Do you think that around 10,000 clouds can be compressed to the level of origin earth?" Feng did not really want to communicate with him. However, at this moment, he felt that if he did, he might be able to broaden his horizons. This fellow Feng Ping was too daring. A compression technique, a technique that he had previously treated as part of the seal, had been extended by Feng Ping to blow up those top-notch powerhouses. 10,000 clouds should be possible. However, I've already told you about the difficulty. In reality, it's almost impossible for you to do it. Origin Earth. That's a real world. Feng Ping licked his lips and said, "This compression technique of yours is the key to you sealing people and making it impossible for them to break through. However, I still think that the effect of sealing isn't too good, old Feng. When you seal people, the invasion of origin chi doesn't actually need the other party's consent. You can invade them directly by force. Since you can seal them, you can change some of their structures. This wall of yours is no longer a wall, but a bomb. You said it yourself before, it can blow people up. Then let me ask you, have you tried to change some of your wall structures? Just like the origin force now. If the structure is slightly different, can it ignite and explode?" Feng Ping said with some excitement. "Then this is considered a time bomb, not a self-destruct bomb. You said before that the explosion after compression is a lose-lose situation. What if we add a fuse? When you seal, it's a wall. When it ignites, it's a bomb. This is a multifaceted application. Look at the origin force here. When it's stable, it's good for body honing. When it's unstable, it's a high-end force that can kill even broken 8. And all this is because some of the power structures are different. Can you also carry out some modifications?" On the other side, Zhang Hao could not help but say, Fong Ping, stop talking. What nonsense were you spouting? Were you teaching Fong how to kill people? Damn bastard. If Fong really modified his sealing technique, if it was really as Fong Ping said, this fellow Fong might become even more powerful. What was powerful was no longer the seal, but the killing spells. Feng's eyes flashed. Sealing technique, he had always been famous in the three realms for his sealing technique. However, today, Fong Ping had really opened up a new world for him. Humans were often like this. Even if you had unlimited wisdom, once you dug into a dead end, even 9 bulls could not pull you back. All these years, he had been constantly perfecting his sealing technique. However, his main thought was still about sealing. He wanted to seal stronger powerhouses, not killing. The appearance of the sealing technique was essentially to seal. He had also tried to kill, but the effect was not too good, so he did not think in that direction anymore. Today, Fong Ping's words made him waver. Thinking of this, Fong did not care how bitter the others were looking at him. He said in a low voice, "What you said actually makes sense. If some key points of the ceiling wall are changed, it might be like a city of blocks. When you remove one of the bricks, the entire city will collapse. However, this requires you to find that point, and you might even need to reconstruct this city. It involves a lot of things. It might completely change the entire sealing technique. This is easy. You have the experience of compression. Modifying on this basis is actually much easier than modifying without any knowledge." Fong Ping rubbed his chin and said, "My current idea is that the martial artists we invade are all martial artists with lower mentality than us. If their mentality is stronger than ours, it will be very difficult for us to break through their origin defense. Of course, I can do it, but you know my situation. Someone might have given me some special ability. I can't always rely on this, right? Old Fong, how do you think we can break through the origin world of a powerhouse with a stronger mentality than us? I mean, if there are no other factors." "Seal!" Li Zhu was about to scream. "Shut the F***CK up. If you continue to discuss with him and really research it, everyone will be in big trouble." Fong Ping frowned and said, "We are discussing." "Shut up. Moreover, I have this ability now. Actually, it doesn't matter whether he says it or not. If he really research it, it will be his benefit, not mine. I'm just nipping it in the bud. I might not need it in the future. Actually, everyone can discuss it. If old Fong research it out, all of us here can actually think of a targeted way to prevent this kind of situation from happening. Instead of him secretly researching it and giving you a surprise attack, you won't even know how you died. Reducing the flaws of our origin is also the direction of our research. As a martial artists are not boorish people. When it is time to discuss, when it is time to kill, then kill. Why are you guys like boorish people?" Fong Ping said regretfully, "In the past, I heard that Heavenly Emperor Zhan and the Emperor were discussing martial arts until the end of the battle. The Emperor also answered all questions. That's why these people can become emperors and achieve extremity. You guys are so petty. With such a small vision, how can you become emperors?" Fong Ping shook his head and said disdainfully, "Martial arts is like this. If you don't improve, others will. Discuss together and improve together. Keeping things to yourself is the reason why martial arts are getting weaker and weaker. The reason why our human race is so strong is because some martial arts knowledge is open to the public and discussed among the people. Can one person's wisdom really surpass the wisdom of billions of people's? You guys are overestimating yourselves. A bunch of fellows who don't dare to be surpassed by others and are afraid of being surpassed by others will be surpassed sooner or later. This is the eternal truth." Fong Ping's disdain was evident in his words. Everyone's expressions kept changing. At this moment, Fong suddenly said, "Actually, it's not that there's no way. In the past, I taught the sealing sky technique to some powerhouses who have just entered martial arts. It was not for no reason. It was to exchange for their beginner martial world." Fong said in a low voice, "My sealing sky technique invades the source world. Their beginner martial world, on the other hand, seals their origin Tao from the outside to the inside. One is inside, the other is outside. To invade from the inside, you need to have a stronger mentality than the other party. But to invade from the outside, you don't need to break that layer of seal and seal at the end of the Tao. At this time, although there is a requirement for mentality, even if your mentality is lower than the other party, you don't have to care too much. But this is only a sealing technique, not an invading technique. Transform. Fong Ping's eyes lit up. We can completely transform the seal into an invasion. We can even use it together. Externally, it's probably because Origin Chi can't cast, and the other party is not casting the Origin wall. But we can attack from the inside and the outside. First invade from the outside, then start to cast the wall from the inside, then explode the wall. At that time, it won't be considered a wall anymore. Or we can simply condense the Origin wall on the outside and blow up his Tao. It will still be effective. Fong Ping licked his lips and smiled. Old Fong, teach me the beginner martial world. Humph. Fong looked unfriendly. Teach you? Am I stupid? Fortunately, Fong Ping's mentality was not as strong as his. Even if it was an invasion, he could resist it quickly. However, what if this guy really learned the beginner martial world and began to invade from the outside? Or even blow up his own Tao? That would be a big problem. Forget it. If you don't give it to me, I'll go ask Skyarm for it later. Fong Ping did not care. He more or less had a clue. This was a good thing. He thought it was a good thing. On the other side, Hong Kuan and the others' faces turned green. If this really succeeded, then they would be in big trouble. Fortunately, Fong still comforted everyone. The danger of breaking aid is not too big. After breaking the door, the Tao is actually open, and the overflow is more open. Even if he invades from the end, he won't be able to find the direction to invade for a while. As soon as these words were said, the few breaking aid were slightly relieved. As for Fong Ping, he rubbed his chin again, muttering, "Actually, the positions of the 3 virtual gates are fixed. In that case, if I find the location of the 3 virtual gates, maybe I can invade whoever I want." The virtual gate. I think I might know where it is. Yes, he really knew. The Vitality Gate's virtual gate should be in Wang Ruobing's source world. The end of those pipes should be the Vitality Gate's virtual gate. As for the rest, he was not sure yet. In that case, in the future, he could actually use Wang Ruobing as a transit to invade and kill some guys. Everyone's expression changed again. Fong Ping looked at them and smiled. Actually, everyone, you can also look around. If the Sanjiao Gate and the Energy Gate are included, there should be 4 virtual gates. Right now, I only know where 1 gate is. There are still 3 gates that I don't know. Everyone look around and see where they are. Actually, it's not a big deal. It's also a good thing that you know the location. If you have nothing to do, you can go behind the virtual gate and steal some vitality force. Mentality force, vitality force. Everyone was speechless. Fong Ping smiled again and said, "Old Fong, let's research together on how to change the structure of the source wall into the source bomb. You try, I'll try. 2 people working together is easier than 1. Don't think that your modification method is the best. Maybe mine is. Let's improve together. Maybe the ratio is different and the explosive power is different too. I know this very well. The bombs that we humans have researched, the explosive power of the same size is completely different. The stronger ones can be 100 or 1,000 times stronger than the weaker ones." Li Zhu and the rest's expressions darkened even more. This bastard Fong Ping was going to be more and more difficult to deal with in the future. Sealing this idiot. Could the sealing technique really work like this? Was this still considered the sealing technique? Of all the people, you passed it on to Fong Ping. Didn't you know that this bastard loved to research explosions? From the time he was weak, he had been bombing all the way until now. The few of them were mentally exhausted, but they were also somewhat comforted. Fortunately, they knew. Fortunately, they were here. Fortunately, they knew in advance what this bastard Fong Ping was going to do. The next time Fong Ping invaded their source, no matter what, no matter how much they had to pay, they must kill him immediately and chase him away. They must never let him create a big explosion in their source world. Fong, on the other hand, was in high spirits. He did not reject Fong Ping's suggestion to research together this time. He said, "All right, we can exchange some structure plans. But don't think about deceiving me with those useless plans. Otherwise, you can only do it once at most. There won't be a second time." "Of course." Fong Ping smiled and said, "We can also set another rule. For example, the plan that I've researched. One cloud of origin chi can explode 10 clouds. Before you achieve this effect, don't think about exchanging with me again. Unless you surpass me. For example, when you achieve 20 times the explosive power, you can continue to communicate with me. This way, everyone will be improving. It won't be me trying to satisfy you, and you trying to satisfy me. How about this?" Fong was quite satisfied. He smiled and said, "Sure. Don't spread your sealing technique carelessly." I don't think most people can research this compression method. Fortunately, your Sealing Sky clan is finished. No, there are still some beginner martial artists who can do it. Fong Ping rubbed his chin and said, "Whatever. Let it explode. I think even if these guys know, they won't be able to kill me. You guys, on the other hand, don't tell others. Although beginner martial artists can't invade the source, the beginner martial heaven and earth has this effect. Whoever leaks it out, beginner martial artists will kill you. Don't blame me for not reminding you." Hong Kuan and the rest's faces turned green. He had researched a combat technique that could kill top-notch powerhouses just like that. What was this? Sealing Sky Technique. Why don't we change its name to Exploding Sky Technique? Fong Ping suddenly said. Everyone was silent. Feng's face was full of sorrow. "I didn't research this Dao technique to explode people. The three realms can be my witness. For 30,000 years, I have never done this. Why did it change in Fong Ping's hands?" You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.